each other on Dust2. It was many moons ago. We've got two different players for both teams, but Donk got an ace against them with an AWP. And again, like, if you go to his stats on HLTV, he's 1 out of 100 for sniping. So I'm just loving how that story continues. And indeed, it is a shocker. What do they have up their sleeve, FaZe? What do they have in mind going for a veto of Mirage over Dust2? It is very curious indeed. There has to be a reason, which hopefully we will discover with the coming action. It will be Spirit, the aggressors, to begin the series.
Yeah, we'll have to see where they're going. But line up in mid through the doors there, trying to snipe with the USPs from FaZe. A respectable opening, but the smoke there is going to deny them temporarily. Flashbang to A long for Spirit. As they get some early control, they discover there's nobody home. In the meantime, FaZe are getting active through tunnels as well.
Indeed they are. Quick split of the A bomb site seems to be in action. That's a great start from Jay Bowen, who'll have a lot of work to do, especially here on Dust2. Here is magixx, who's got a good angle to get some trades at least. In a 1 versus 2 now. Switching out for another Glock. Plenty of bullets to solve the issue. 1 versus 3, sorry. There is a flank coming in from long as well. Bomb plant secured. It's got some extra range, but only 2 bullets. Oh, that's awkward timing as he gets the reload in. Still standing for the time being, though. Really needs to urgently find that kill, but it won't happen. Bomb plant, yes. Round win, no.
That's exactly what you want to see. Again, this is such a huge underdog story here, especially, you know, FaZe against Spirit on their best map, which, just like they said on the desk, it's always been their best map, James. They've always been incredibly difficult to deal with here in this map. And, I mean, just the amount of wins that Spirit rack up on any map anyway, you know, for it to be the absolute best one you're going to open the series with, I suppose that's one way to get the worst out of the way with quickly.
I'm so excited to see what Jay Bowen will look like versus Spirit on Dust2 because, again, coming up to, I mean, this is really coming up to top flight Counter-Strike now, where you've got to judge, like, how far can you go, how aggressive can you be before being too aggressive and too risky versus Spirit. You can't be afraid to take risk and play a confident game, but you need to find balance.
This is a dangerous round here because Donk has the hero AK. So Force Buy and Team Spirit, the only rifle, of course, they've put it on Donk, the greatest Counter-Strike player alive, and that could yield some good results here for them. They're going to be looking to work through some of these early counter grenades from the CTs. That pressure in mid could force rotation or more nades from FaZe. So Spirit just trying to bleed FaZe a little bit, see if they can find any early information on the setup.
They've established some good map control, showed presence towards shorts, and they've got quite a good amount of utility for a round such as this. Do Spirit. Lots of intention as smokes go towards CT, keeping their options open. You can see FaZe have got very defensive positions on the A bomb site where the majority are, so there could be trouble. There could be trouble ahead towards B. Yeah,
this is actually a very dangerous situation for FaZe. They're going to get split on, and there's no assistance here. Just 2 players. A good spray down from Natu, but he's going to have to go for the reload. Oh my goodness, an instant kill from Donk. Natu in the back has to deliver more kills. Natu, he's done exactly what he had to do to avert absolute disaster. I've got to say, James, right off the rip in the second round, Natu is in a good position there as the anchor.
Yeah. Really good delivery from him. 2 good rounds, 2 good confidence-building rounds. If FaZe can keep this momentum early, I think this will be really good for the psyche of the squad. Great expectation there from Natu, punishing the attempt to get behind that lurk smoke. Really holding his own on that B bomb site, stuck in the corner, nowhere to go, and still the man delivers. Very key round early for FaZe. That puts Spirit on the pistols. You can see if they'll do some damage to that CT economy. Oh, there's a good flash there, but Donk will not be given what he's looking for.
Yeah, he's so scary just seeing him running out there. Oh, okay. Tenair is going to be the one instead to find that Deagle headshot to thin the numbers ever so slightly for FaZe. But at least, you know, that gun is highly unrecoverable from FaZe's perspective. They won't worry about that. But, you know, what's the plan here now? Spirit will be grouping up, looking to perhaps take over that mid position and recover that gun. Could be an option here for them.
Still a smoke in the hands of magixx. You can see the bomb making its way over towards B as well. Twist will be looking to keep Spirit honest in that mid area. So we'll see if there's anything left for Spirit. Still a dangerous round with some Desert Eagles. We have seen Glock rounds won this week at Bounty. Nice angle from Natu. Lovely taps there as well. Stiko recently did a video, a very brief video, about Natu holding that position on Dust2. We'll see if that's something that Spirit look to counter as this game develops.
Yeah, and I think just a very quick note there. I think it's kind of a smart way to play the round from Spirit, because probably thinking the same thing that I was, that, okay, there's a rifle to be collected there, waiting out the mid-smoke, and that might be pulling one player out of B, so that then you can kind of overwhelm the anchor from the B-ton rotation. So, you know, smart stuff, but so far FaZe delivering individually, and that's a good sign for them.
Shiro on the AWP, as is Jay Bowen. Now the real game begins on Dust2. T-side's very expectant of these angles. I think Donk was getting punished for the jump peek there. Of course, the T's can drop a flash over the top of those boxes. Oh, the timing's good though, but the damage, not quite. Yeah, just 6 damage there is most unfortunate, but FaZe have got a good idea. They've got good expectation. I think that punish of the jump peek shows they are prepared for Dust2.
Yeah, this is so far a very nice clean start. Twist will rotate through CT spawn to look after the double doors, which indicates right now FaZe understand this cat control, and it's typical of Spirit. It can mean absolutely anything and everything, so they have to be prepared here.
I think an important thing to watch on this CT side as well is how FaZe hold utility. They've done great util damage for all of the positions that Donk's been holding. But the late mollies and the late smokes from the CT perspective will be key in holding down Spirit and ruining their timing. Yeah,
Spirit sort of faking the mid presence here with the double smoke there in mid, and you can see it's pulled the CTs out of B as well. They're expecting that mid play, but it's actually a catwalk play, which leaves it up to Jeboen. Can he do anything from this position? The flames are definitely obscuring his vision, losing some opportunity for shots there. Doesn't know where to look. Players all over the place here from Spirit, but we're in a 2v2 after plant.
And Shiro's got an angle, but he wonders about the smoke. The HEs continue doing damage, but can they follow up on the promise of all this util damage? Shiro's got a great angle, scopes in, swing and a miss. Natu's been dropped though, and that leaves Frozen in the clutch. Very awkward position for him now. Running low on bullets down to the USP. Just can't find what he's looking for. Shiro finish off the job. Spirit find their first round.
Again, you can see the Dust2 mastery there from Team Spirit. Again, you know, throwing those smokes, really making it a convincing argument that Twist has to stay in CT spawn. And then as the nades come in from catwalk, that leaves Jay Bowen in a position where he has to connect a shot. But he's also has his crosshair pulled down lower in the chaos, unsure exactly where the T's are positioned in that round. And I think that encapsulates why Spirit are so difficult to play with. Once they get cat control, it can be anything.
Immediate money pressures for FaZe. They'll have a buy. We'll see how good it looks once everything's come through. But first, some discussion. Again, they seem well studied for Spirit's T side so far, but I think other teams have been well studied before. If we go back to the Liquid match, they spoke about being a bit too stiff. So we'll see if FaZe can adjust on the fly if required, if they can be like Liquid, no pun intended. Again, difficult when you've got new members of a squad. You saw them say that they felt like they were 20% in their previous match. But again, trying to find that synergy without the longevity may be challenging, but may be necessary versus a team like Spirit. Oh. Goodbye, Jay Bowen. That's an expensive walk straight in the bin.
Oh, man, okay. Frozen's going to collect the AWP here. It's not over just yet, but on the CT side of 5v4 for the Ts, it's just so insanely difficult to play against. FaZe will have to take big risks. You know, the options that you tend to have is play aggressive somewhere, but I mean, of course, you have to expect Spirit to look for that, so that feels bad. Or you stack towards a position and try to hold on to the weapons. And just, you know, if you're wrong, you just save. That's really oftentimes how teams will handle this position. Twist can find something. That could change the fate somewhat here for the FaZe side, but look at the Spirit grouping up in the upper tunnels.
That's the end of the round there. And they're losing more. Again, 25 matches since Spirit lost to someone other than Falcons or Vitality. That is the challenge ahead of FaZe in this series. Very painful way to start a round where, again, they had high money pressures. They're going straight to eco territory. They really need to hold on to these 2 rifles.
Yeah, that sucks. It's a unique feature of Dust2 that you can just instantly kill a CT as they're just running into position in the first 5 seconds. And you can see, look, Spirit not really wanting them to just be able to have anything into the next round. They have a very, very good start, and Spirit showing that they can just take over the game very quickly. FaZe, 3 rounds at the moment, so see what else they can find here. Frozen looking to defend the position. Oh, he's going to get forced out there tonight with the wall bang as well. So 2 rounds now for Spirit, and the money broken for FaZe. And I think one of the most difficult things here, James, in this matchup, sure it makes it look so easy, but one of the most difficult things in this matchup is, I think it's very hard to play a disruptive style against Spirit before they get to that position on Catwalk, where they then just get to have a massive advantage. And I think that's the conundrum that almost no team in the world can solve.
Yeah, we saw recent challenges as well. CT's playing aggressive in the short position when Spirit were in their staging area. But even then, they were jiggling, avoiding pop flashes and so on. It's just really hard to find the timing against them. Time for FaZe to think in rounds such as this. The difficulty starts early versus Spirit. Zontic still looking for his first frag, but team are doing just fine.
And although there's not hope really here for FaZe to win the round, you do really, really feel like you have to get some kills. You don't want to allow this economy to get out of hand here. You do need the capacity that when you win a round, you can threaten that eco from the T side. So here we go, an effort to get a kill, grouping up in that mid position, but Shiro, like shooting fish in a barrel for him. Very, very easy indeed. Everyone funneling through the choke point. As I say that, able to overwhelm Zontix as Shiro actually whiffs a couple shots, but I don't think they're going to get too much more than that.
Spirit with a chokehold on this round. They're so surrounded. They think, okay, we could maybe have a chance to get this AWP, but Donks alone planting the bomb. Everybody else focused on not allowing FaZe anything into the next round. So indeed, it will be difficult. And again, FaZe did a lot of good work with utility in those previous rounds. They'll have less than they might like. I wonder if they will use a HE or something to try and cross those mid doors a bit safer now. So much at risk if they don't, and indeed the HE comes through. Oh, still Frozen gets tagged through the door.
One thing I'll mention here is that there's no AWP for the FaZe side, so their A defense in general will be a little bit weaker because the AKs will outperform the M4s on some of those ranges, and so just not having the AWP, it just makes A a bit more susceptible to these attacks. And so more of a cat focus right now from FaZe as we do get Spirit taking over long control.
They have a lot of players who are lacking flashes as well, which can make it awkward to try and have an aggressive response to what the T side is doing. So Spirit have established possession of that long position. And FaZe have fallen off short to some degree. Maybe they've got a hard read as to what the real game is here from Spirit, as you see them boosting in CT spawn.
Yeah, I like how they're playing as 4 here. They're trying to be in a position where they can just, if there's a play anywhere, they can react very quickly as a team. If Spirit go to B, it's like GG, basically. They know they are in a disadvantageous position on the guns and the utility, so they have to find an advantage elsewhere, and they're gambling a bit to be able to react as 4 players.
Spirit holding has made FaZe exhaust almost all of their utility. A swing for information. Now, what is the play? The bomb's pretty much hard committed in that long area with 2 in lower tunnel. So they're going to have to try and clean up this short position. Donk's the man to do it. So we see FaZe holding angles. Oh, I didn't know which way to look, FaZe. It's so awkward for them to try and best Spirit in Dust2. 15 seconds to get this bomb planted, though. Twist has to be dealt with. He will be eventually, but he took some plays with him. And that gives FaZe a chance now. 7 seconds to get this bomb planted. No one's on the site to do it. They've got to win by elimination here. They've got to find Frozen, but it's only 2 seconds to do so! My word, they still win the round.
The last second, in the last possible second, the kill comes through. Oh man, FaZe got so close. They delayed for so long there, really making Spirits advance onto the site. Very challenging, but God, it feels like, it feels tough, man. It feels tough to watch that. I feel like FaZe really made a lot of really good moves in this position. And they had so much patience in the round as well. It's very, very difficult with the kind of round they were trying to play to be as patient as they were. But they did let the game come to them. But unfortunately for them, they're going to be left with just a half buy here.
They did a lot with a little there, FaZe. It shows promise, but again, a lot of crap rounds when you've got no money. And for all that promise, soon the half may be over. So we'll see if there's anything left for them, presumably after this one. That's a good tag, though. You see the 5-7s already as well. Donk lucky to escape that scenario.
And you've got the A players now coming into CT spawn to expect to deliver a defense against the mid doors. We'll see if they can create like somewhat of a kill zone here. Anybody get that initial kill from magixx. In comes the swing, though. magixx was able to control it with the spray. magixx kind of being just the only player there in that position and not going down. Really a chance for FaZe that did not go their way. Spirit in full control on the A site now.
Very calm and steady from magixx. Again, not shy to eliminate the threats. Always good support as well. Calculated risks we see from Spirit. And again, another clean out for them. Nicely done. Stamping their authority, as they should, as a top 3 ranked team.
Okay, so 5-3 now. Spirit's able to get many consecutive rounds in a row. And, FaZe, they get that really clean start. And I think they showed that, if they're able to get it into a position of advantage, and sometimes even the disadvantage, like seeing those site defenses with from Natu, they're going to be able to have a good shot at closing down some of these rounds. So we'll have to see what can happen now that Jay Bowen's going to be back on the AWP. You'd imagine the Spirit, they could try to pop a site. But the thing is with Spirit as well, again, when they play that slow rounds, they evade all of the disruptive play from the CTs, get to a decent cat timing. They are so consistent at converting rounds from that position, you almost don't need to play those pop timings as well. So we'll see how they decide to handle it, Spirit.
See if they can cross the mid doors phase. This time they do. Well, that's a good start for them. Good timing on the molly towards long also, with some presence towards short, but Frozen gets caught by the mid doors very early indeed.
Yeah, didn't expect this pace switch up from Spirit, going really, really fast. Good defense there on the catwalk position. Absolutely crucial. And the nades coming in there, doing a little bit of extra damage. 4 players for Spirit, and after losing a player cat there, they are cancelling that movement. Now rerouting to the upper tons, just expectant. Are FaZe going to have a double push here?
Natu is very alone on B. He has an incendiary if he finds a timing to use it, but have a look at that radar. They are on the way. Here comes that incendiary. Twist needs to start rotating now. Natu holding his ground once again, doing fantastic work. Staying alive, buying time for that rotation to come through. Zontix and Shiro remain. Natu finally dealt with, but help is here.
He did everything for the team right now, has given them an opportunity. A lot of time here to work this position for Spirit. Oh, good nade there. Zontix barely standing, 6 points of health. Flashbang comes in, but he understands exactly what to do. Spraying blind. Zontix stays up here for the 2 versus 1. Jake Bowen comes in. Oh my god, gets a lick of flames for 1 HP damage. Out for the M4, and Zontix, the fact that he's still alive is a problem. 5 HP or not, and that's another round from Spirit. And another round where Natu, it feels like he over-delivers.
Yeah, he's doing really good on that B-bomb site, but simply not enough for FaZe to convert afterwards. It's hard to put Spirit down in a round, in a game, in a series. Such a good frag from Zontix. Barely saw that flash coming, but was ready. He had his crosshair in the right place, and the rest was automatic. Really good work from Zontix. Quiet game so far, but talk about impact frags. FaZe will feel like they have come close in some of these rounds, getting things down to a 2 versus 2 and such, but you've got to do more than come close versus Spirits.
Spirit feeling perhaps the aggressive presence here. You got the pop flash ready to go there for a collapse from mid doors, as well as the catwalk swing as well. Just to try to punish the cat take timing from Spirit. So Spirit might try to bait this. You see magixx gets sent out deep first by himself. There is some support fire. It's still going to work out though for FaZe. Spirit might be in some trouble. 4 versus 3 for FaZe now.
Can Twist get out of this position? You see them trying to pick up loot in the middle. Bantanir will collect them. Nice frag from Jacob with the Desert Eagle. Still not close to a primary weapon in this round. A UMP and a Deagle to try and clutch it versus Tinir and Zontix with AKs.
Maybe they can collect a gun, but you can see Zontix really does understand that that would be a pretty big win, but still Jacob, he punishes. Zontix acting the guardian there of the weaponry on the floor. And now FaZe picks some stuff up, but not before Tanir, just a casual couple bullets on his way across.
Importantly, a smoke collected by Jacob. Well, Tanir hasn't rotated towards long. Standing and fighting then, some sound cues from Natu. Jacob's picked up an AK, but he's heading all the way towards long. So let's see how this one plays out then. Tanir trying to position himself as best he can. He knows where one player is, that's Natu. He doesn't know where that second player is coming from, but he's got a good idea. Jacob will be able to finish off the job there for FaZe, who will secure an important 4th round. It's been a drought for them, 6 in a row from Spirit, but there's still time to pick up a few more before half-time.
Yeah, and like you said, James, 2 or 3 of the rounds in this half so far have been extraordinarily close, and you can see it going FaZe's way without marginal, but what a shot there from Jacob. Holy, the Deagle coming out in this round looking absolutely phenomenal. And you can see FaZe, the individuals are here right now, James.
Oh my word.
They are here.
Yeah, that's excellent work. And again, like this, we're a bit in the dark in terms of FaZe's plan on Dust2. Of course, many expected Mirage over Dust2, but what is their target for acceptable rounds on the CT side? What do they have in mind when things switch sides? What's on that piece of paper? So many questions. They definitely came into this one with a plan.
Yeah. And it, like you say, it could have been that the Dust2 scrims went really, really well recently. There's lots of reasons why decisions like this can be made. And in a series against a team that is such a massive overdog, you want to probably prioritize your comfort. And so, that's like another factor that goes into decisions like this. And now we see the remaining 2 rounds. It's going to be a much better buy here for FaZe. We see Jay Bowen back on the AWP. We'll see if he's able to deliver something. So far, this game has been quite challenging for him to get involved.
I bet FaZe watched the match with Spirit Liquid as well, and were maybe able to absorb some information, saw some habitual plays. Again, we saw great detail from FaZe's utility earlier on. Two rounds to fight for now. As Jabone falls back. Spirit established control of shorts.
Yeah, and this is that dangerous position, that we talk about. Spirit can just make everything look like everything. So it's so difficult. You've got Donk, who might be trying to move his way up catwalk stairs there. The rest of the team kind of positioned closer to the double doors at the moment. A minute to go as we're sort of at a more normal timing. Twisty player for CT FaZe looking after the double doors aggression. Smoked off at the moment. Again, what does it all mean? You've got the 2B anchors there just sitting on the site at the moment. FaZe know they need to not overreact. Jay Bowen might have to fall off to long completely because in comes the attack up catwalk.
Twist had a HE, but I think he's used it towards mid doors, which will certainly help. Jacobs on the flank now as the Spirit numbers are cut down. He might have a chance of a tight score at halftime the way things are going. magixx versus a 500 HP FaZe. Talk about a response. Getting stronger towards the half's end. Maybe a good finish could really empower them moving to the other side. But let's see what magixx has in mind for them. He's got a bomb to plant, and there's no one to really contest it.
2 frags now for magixx. He's going to be forced to go for the plant, but Jacob swings on through. Great headshot from him, and I mean, the fact that magixx made it feel doable in my heart and mind there, I was like, okay, this is kind of scary, but 5-6 scoreline is pretty excellent. Like you say, James, this is a potential 6-6 right now. Look at the performance on the defense to the A side there. And, FaZe were operating without information. They had to give up a lot of space here because they wanted to not overreact and give Spirit something before they committed to a site.
No one to challenge on this occasion. Shiro going for the B play instead. Any B player will be very familiar with the fast peaks from a sniper. Natu holding his utility for now. This time he's got support in the early game. Much quieter round from Spirits. And Frozen's pushed through long already.
And they come. They're going to test Natu again. Natu alone takes down Donk immediately. We'll see what he's able to do. magixx comes in on the mid doors. Whilst this is all going on, nowhere to turn here for Natu. And he's going to get taken out. 2 versus 4 now for the FaZe team. And it's not a good look for them. Although, with that kill from Twist, well, Jacob's dead. So everything now is on Twist. They know precisely where he is. It's going to be an unceremonious exit to this round unless Twist can do the unthinkable, but it's not to be. 7-5 at the end of the first half here for Spirit.
We have a few Maltese words on flashcards. If you give it your best shot, go through these one by one and try and guess how it's pronounced. Have a little guess as to what you think it might mean.
Birkirkara. Birkirkara. I have no clue. Maybe it's something related to weather, maybe?
It's a place, one of the largest places here in Malta.
Ah, no chance.
Okay, then the next word is
Next one is this.
Zurich. Zurich.
Zurich? Zurich?
Zurich. No?
Zurich.
Zurich.
Zurich, okay. It might be a place as well.
It's a city near the sea.
Next word.
Well, it's getting tough.
Algiotta.
It will be like Aliotta.
Algiotta.
I think like it's probably like some city or like
The meaning?
It's a fish soup.
It's a fish soup. No.
fish soup.
Imkaret. Imkaret.
Imkaret.
Imaret.
Imaret. The Q is not.
It's a
Oh, yeah.
For me seems like it's some like dish.
It's like it's a pastry. It's a sweet pastry with
Pastry. Gigi Poku. Gigi.
Gigi Foku or
Chivchivoku.
Chivchivoku.
Chivchivoku. Wow.
I have no like no chance.
It's fireworks which are put on the streets.
Ah.
Firebox. Chivchivoku.
Chichipoku.
Okay. The last one.
So. Kicha. Is it right? No.
Will be like Cuchilla.
Uchilla.
Uchia. Ah. J is not.
C with the dot is a ch.
Ch.
I think it's some dish, sort of dish.
That's when a baby has his first birthday. He's got a few things like a ruler, pencil.
It's like a tradition.
It's like a tradition.
Okay.
Whatever he grabs is what he'll become in the future.
Computer mouse
Yeah.
or computer.
FaZe leave the first half with 5 rounds on the board. Not too shabby considering Spirit 13-0 to 100 Thieves, 13-7 Liquid on Dust2, and yet FaZe still go to Dust2. Happy to leave it open. And Vito Mirage, it's like they picked it themselves there.
And look at this, Donker is getting sent up with the dualies. He will back away behind the safety of the doors. But yes, you know, FaZe, they did win that first pistol. Winning another pistol here would go a long way, but Tanir able to take down Twist. There's a lot of problems here for FaZe to deal with. Hello, Tanir's still there. Absolutely tragic here for FaZe. They cannot push beyond this smoke, and they've lost 3 players.
An awkward moment on long. That leaves J Bowen versus 5. And doesn't seem like they're going to wait around for him. A minute 14. Really needs to win this duel and quickly, though. Just trying to hide the head Zontix, unable to do so. It's going to be a long challenge, though, especially with the shadow advantage here for Donk. Good patience for J Bowen. I just can't help but think What do FaZe have in mind? They have to have a plan for both halves. They have to have surprises. They have to have hard counters. Maybe Spirit react a certain way to a smoke or something. Who knows? But I'm very curious to find out. But yeah, this was a bit of a false start, I think, on long.
Yeah, it's a shame too because they don't even get the bomb down. So with the bomb down, you have options to have a... I mean, honestly, you should be force buying for sure if you get the bomb down. But right now, it's a harder decision because you don't want to allow Spirit to beat you on if you have a force buy and then just start to really rack up the rounds, get the AWP into play early on. Like I think FaZe want to be able to come out with rifles as soon as possible. So I would expect to see them, actually having a Glock save here and just kind of giving the round to Spirit, trying to maybe get a kill or two, and we'll see what they decide to do though. Depends, sometimes teams have very good force buys even without the bomb down. And if they feel confident in that, maybe they'll go for that choice. But we'll see. That's actually the case here. Is actually yeah, they did save all except Twist, who's actually got a scout.
Yeah, I think he tagged Zontix as well. Will be a challenge to follow up on that. But they've made the investments. So let's see then. Losing that second pistol, FaZe will have to do it the hard way. I think it would really change the dynamic had they been successful there. Not the case though. It was never going to be easy versus Spirit.
So you can see that the scout does force a little bit of respect, and there's also a world where maybe Twist is just buying a Mag-10 next round, and they've got a round for their first gun, which is going to be based around Mag-10 opening, kills like a B pop or something. So we'll have to keep an eye out on that. But you can see the space created, the respect given by Spirit. They know that they can just play the sites here and have a really consistent advantage without giving up any cheeky kills, and that's going to force FaZe to have to make the move, and we'll see how they decide to make these decisions. So they cleared this opening position behind the double doors. Do they continue to go further?
Does he maybe look towards the A with the scout? See if someone's towards the car or something, or it'll be B first. They've got the time to do this. Again, I think they need to use this time to try and drop someone somewhere, because Dust2, 4 Glocks and a scout, how on earth do you get a bomb plant? Even if you're running the gauntlet, just absorbing these bullets, it's going to be so difficult. Well, there goes Jacob out first with that bomb. And again, this should be relatively easy for Spirit to deal with, and indeed it will be. No players lost, just about, will be absolutely fine for them.
I actually really liked this round from FaZe with that, one singular scout. Again, we'll see what Twist decides to buy, and if the expectation is that they can just throw Twist through a position, a choke point, maybe it's long with an SMG, and he can pick up a gun, if he survives and so on and so forth. So it's actually not very bad at all to have the scout there with the Glocks. I like it a lot, but into the next round we go. We'll see what the plan truly is, as we do see the Mag-10 on Twist.
Shiro hyper aggressive on short to open the first buy round in the second half. How long does he hold here for? He's got plenty of sound cues. Rifle support's on the way as well. Long abandoned by the CTs for the time being. That's a big flash eaten, and there is Twist with that Mag-10, just forcing the issue, dodging the grenades. That'll pull Donk closer to those mid doors, and Spirit all over the place. Again, they had Long completely absent, and Short has been very compromised. So what do they choose to do now?
Yeah, there's 3 smokes here right now for the side of FaZe. You can see the double smokes coming in there. That's a really nice use there. Really threatens that play into the B side from mid. And they can actually fake this a little bit and maybe split into the A side. But there's 3 players here. And with that HE kill, this actually makes Spirit looking, I think, quite nice in this position. But Donk's going to go through the smoke beyond 2 players. He has no idea.
The bomb's been somewhat lost in the meantime, collected behind the smoke. But Jacob's position and survival will be very, very key. Donk able to find Natu, keeping his thoughts open there, but he's caught by Frozen. 2 on 3. They've got to go quickly before his angles are compromised by that last B player heading towards the doors. But Shiro catches Frozen. Maybe some hesitation from FaZe. A nice idea, but the execution proving more and more difficult. Jabone's in a 1 versus 1 now towards this B bomb site. But that B player can be anywhere he chooses. Jabone's got to be ready for him in that car position. Zontix will deliver the final frag, putting Spirit on 10.
Yeah, I think a very smart move there from Jabone to go for that smoke mid into B, but yeah, it seemed like the FaZe round here, it had a lot of potential. We get this opening here from Twist, With that Mag 10, it kind of just does its job. And I think the fact that Spirit had so many extra players on A there, in that position around Catwalk, it gave them a good ability to kind of respond. And the kind of variance there as Donk walked through the smoke, I think that's really where the round started to get decided.
The grenades from Spirits on short were so impactful, basically removing the trade frag. A great flick from Twist, spots an elbow, and Shiro is gone. We'll see how much is left. There's an AWP that
Venge.
maybe they can have a look at later on. Zontix will head in towards that mid position, while FaZe have a look towards long. They still have that scout, so there could be more threats in this particular round.
Perhaps Twist has really been putting the time in on Scout's knives, because we're seeing him be the scout guy here for the team. Tanir, I mean, Tanir's been really sharp so far today, especially in this long position, but look at him go! Twist with the scout, okay. And that's a gun collected as well. This is starting to get very tricky for Spirit.
Work of a captain.
There's no smoke for the cross though, James, so they're going to fall back out.
Does Frozen have a timing here? Hiding on Xbox, but does he look at all? magixx is closing the distance. He does! Oh, magixx, how did he find that one? Oh, there's just no justice for FaZe. Okay. They've done so much work.
As Twist is going to try to fake here, though. Let's see if this will pull players or attention away. Does have the crosshairs now pointed towards him for 2 players. Spirit have to clear this, though. There's 30 seconds to go. Twist, imagine if he'd hit that shot. But now they know it's a fake. They know right now that it's just all a lie.
But how many lies? Maybe it's compulsive lying because the bomb's going back towards long. Twist knows that they've only seen that one player there, so surely it's a B bomb site. Are they being caught on the rotation, though? It looks like they are. Again, difficult for FaZe, and Twist has asked for more. Looking low, but dropped from high. And it's Jay Bone of the Desert Eagle. So close. They're really fighting tooth and nail no matter what they have. But ultimately, it is Spirit on 11.
Oh my goodness, it's so insane. FaZe have made so many rounds. What on earth? I have no idea. That's amazing. Love to see that from Twist. But they've made so many rounds really uncomfortable, and you almost would love to have seen if they would have just gone past into the A site, James, when they had all their players on long. Obviously, they didn't have to smoke for the cross, so you understand. But we're into the buy again here for FaZe. G-Bone back on the AWP.
That response from magixx on short was unbelievable and very pivotal indeed. Spirit somehow stifling every effort from FaZe, essentially. This is the big round now for FaZe. They've made comebacks before. This may be the hardest challenge of them all, though.
Yeah, Catwalk's relatively free. The setup for Spirit was more long-focused. Although Shiro blind, doesn't matter. Still hits the shots. Every single shot connects from Shiro. And FaZe, they can't gain the ground. They are trying to scale, but being completely denied.
Battered by not 2, but 3 HEs. Make it 4. That's 4 HEs as they've been standing in this area. Slightly through the choke point, getting battered by the HEs. An incendiary as well. Spirit absolutely prepared for this push from FaZe. Shiro's got all the angles he needs, and his team as well. Jay Bowen in a 1 versus 3 now. He's got a rough idea of where some of these players are. This would be a hell of a clutch if he can make it work.
Wow, so impossible. No angles, nowhere to go. And Shiro just, showing how incredibly consistent he is with the AWP. 15 and 6 right now is Shiro. And Jay Bowen not really finding the same level of success, but again, these positions, very hard to find for him. Oh, man.
1, 2, 3, and then Donk with number 4. That is detail. That is detail. That is being a step ahead. That is being the Oracle Spirit in the Matrix.
Oh my goodness. 12-5 now, and it's been such an interesting Dust2, James, because despite FaZe only having 5 rounds, it feels like there's been they've gotten so many rounds so close. There's been so much potential for them to have way more rounds than this, but they're against Spirit on Dust2.
Yes, plenty of intent, noble intent from FaZe. It was always going to be difficult. magixx util damage is big. I guess Tanir's donating his util to his teammates. Again, so many HEs just fully prepared our Spirit. More lessons to be learned in that respect. So what do FaZe have left? Last chance saloon for them. 4, soon to be 5, towards that B bomb site. Donk in the window, looking for more, collects 2.
And not bad resorting. Exotic straight through the smoke. Trying to catch them moving forwards into position, but that's actually going to result in a 3 versus 3 retake now for Spirit. I think one of the first advantageous scenarios we've seen for FaZe, but there is so much retake utility available for Spirit.
Frozen's got a full stack being deployed at present. 2 CTs coming from the halls. Natu, so familiar with B. Just biding his time. He's got to look out for that AWP though. But that clock is so far ticked already, and Shiro could do with saving this AWP, but it would look to make it expensive as well. So a late round for FaZe. Never count them out. I'm sure you've learned that already in this week here at BLAST Bounty. But again, this one is going to be harder than the one on Nuke.
Yeah, 6 to 12. Yeah, absolutely.
Versus Spirit. Got to add that in as well.
I think I heard a call there from Twist. I think he said, let's play default now, I think is what he said. So we'll see if that ends up being what he's doing, or he's trying to fake us out. He's trying to fake us out. He's playing against multiple opponents right now. But we're going to be back into the next round here. You know, Donk actually has a secondary AWP.
Damn, looking for another ace, is he? Another all-pace versus FaZe on Dust2. Let's see it, Donk. What have you got?
Oh. Gotta be careful. Gotta be careful.
So they hit the AWP in mid, do FaZe. They can't be expecting another one. But Shiro's got a relatively defensive position on A for now. So the threat level in that respect is a little low. Fast developing round from FaZe. Again, let's not forget those HEs that they were the recipients of earlier on. They do continue. They've been double-naded in that position they're standing in now. They've been quad-naded, fighting players on the site further up as well. PTSD as far as the A bomb site's concerned.
Oh, look at this though. We do get the pop flash into long doors to try to understand, okay, what's this play? If there's no one long doors there, or in that position at all, Spirit, with this time of block, might expect it to be more of a mid to B play, potentially. We'll see what happens here, because, oh, through the smoke, that's a nice catch from Jacob. Now FaZe are in a 4 versus 4, but there's 40 seconds left.
They've got a lurker outside B in Natu. They have smokes they can use if they want to go for a mid split. That trade is really, really important, but they will use those smokes to encroach towards the A bomb site, but such a common angle for Shiro to be on. He'll have sitters. There's no flash to really take him off this at all. And here is Tanir then to collect 2, which leaves Natu as the last man standing. It's been a noble effort from FaZe, but I think it's too much to ask today to take Dust2 versus Spirit. 13-6. Great showing from FaZe, but ultimately they just could not collect the rounds.
Yeah, one of the most exciting 13-6s I think I've seen in recent memory. I think, again, you could see some of the ideas playing out for FaZe that made sense, that looked really good. I think we saw great discipline from them. I also think Natu was a revelation in this game, so a lot of positives to carry forward.
Iron here on the Savannah.
Yeah, they created chances. There were chances, and I do agree. I think it definitely would feel a lot better than the scoreline itself would suggest. But yeah, I mean, FaZe, they're going to be on the T side as well. So they're going to be able to kind of put Spirit in the vortex, assuming that the pistol round goes according to plan. And in terms of what that plan is about to be, we're going to find out right now, right here on Cash.
Give me a good game of Cash, regardless of which way it goes. Sure, many teams will be watching FaZe to see what junk they've got to throw at Spirit. They said they had some new rounds. They will not be respected immediately, though, by Donk. Risks will be taken in this pistol. It's always nice if you can just post up in an off angle there for later on. But what is the intention from FaZe? Taking their time. Spirit will have to have some good HEs in that boost position. Saw they had such good ones on Dust2. Shiro looking to stand his ground then. He's got some help, though, from Donk, who's rotated all the way back to collect the first 2.
Incredible headshots there, and it's just over. It's just over. Maybe there was a timing there. You could see it was all about isolating that short player. But I mean, the counter flash and then the assistance came so quickly in the form of 2 players in the form of this Donk hitting just a tap. And the timing was absolutely destroyed in that mid position. So now Spirit, they're going to be the ones starting with a 1-0 lead. And I mean, to make matters worse, there was no bomb plant for FaZe, so they don't really get the opportunity to put pressure on in this round.
I'm not going to read too much into it because it was a pistol round, of course, which you're going to have more freedoms to make aggressive, risky plays on that CT side. But Donk pushed all the way through B, came back to mid. And you can see, again, Spirit are very proactive. There's high urgency towards A main. I think you can't, as a CT side, push it every round, but I'm very curious to see how proactive Spirit will be at taking something away from FaZe. If FaZe want to play a longer round out where they're going to be posted up, they're going to be holding in the boost position. We'll see if that works out because I expect HGs to come there from the CTs, but I'm very curious to see once the buy rounds come through, will Spirit take control away from FaZe, be it A main, be it through B?
And they don't have any util here, FaZe. They're going to try to rush in, get the bomb down. You've got the bomb waiting on Natu in the door position. So they're going to have to just run through all the rifles. As you can see, with no util. Oh my god, are they going to get the bomb down here? Okay, well, Natu knew he didn't have enough time for that, so it will be denied ultimately. So, okay, nothing from that round at all. I mean, there's not much you can expect.
It's got to be worth the gamble to commit there. Who knows? No wrong decision. 2-0 for Spirit then to begin this series. So we'll see. No kills for FaZe just yet. And again, in terms of measuring the success early of a CT side, these things are important. So if Spirit are to be successful here, again, FaZe need to cut them down at the very least to build something in this first half. But let's see how it goes. Molotov over to the top to thwart any quick action. And the CTs will go into position.
And event broken, so you know that sound will be definitely made very clear, I think, for FaZe. The delayed mid take, you know, the classic here on Cash. You can see that Spirit are very cognizant, and it's Donk who's he's just waiting. He's ready. You know, you have to come at him, and if you can get past Donk here in mid, I mean, the journey's not over there because you also have, obviously, magixx there in for support on the white box position.
He's got another HE as well, magixx, and Donk still has a HE also. And I think that's going to have a big part to play in how this develops. Really trying to do damage in that position. Not too much done just yet, really. magixx has been the recipient. We'll see how that one develops, though, because that will be important. What's the next step here for FaZe? They've got a lot of numbers towards B.
Yeah, just sending it straight to B. Donk's already in position. However, he'll go down very quickly. Really nice work there from FaZe. Jacob, again, delivering, as we did see on Dust as well. Now the CT stuck behind the smoke. magixx able to take down one. I think here in the first steps there can take advantage, but the bomb should be planted momentarily. But 3v3 retake, a single smoke here for Spirit on that retake. I'll have to see what they can do with it.
A kit on magixx. Do they risk losing everything? How confident do they feel about this? That's the last piece of util, unless they find something on the way. Jacob maybe giving some sound cues to the player in the vent. Posting up to drop magixx. Gets his bell rung, though. And Tanir fancies that one. Shiro's picked up the kit that was dropped by magixx. But again, they need to be given something here by FaZe, really convincing to this one. And now it's Natu who needs to stay alive. He's so good at doing that, but on this occasion, no. The retake is successful. Shiro's got the time, he's got the kit, and they keep that clean sheet.
12 HP, it couldn't have been much closer than that. FaZe, at least they wiped out all the weapons, but there's a decent amount of economy left here for Spirit, so they're not going to be sweating that too much. So difficult to stop the team here. You know, you can see Donk had such a good read as to exactly how to position. After mid was taken away from him, he instantly rotated off onto the B defense. So it seemed like Spirit had a good read as to what that round, that util meant from FaZe. And they just barely defend. You can see the disappointment there on the face of the FaZe players.
That's a really rough way to lose that round. I think that frag through the smoke was a difference maker from magixx. Again, pay attention to the HE usage. I'm sure the timing will change for Spirit. Indeed, it does, as I say that. That's going to be a problem for FaZe to continue to deal with. But again, one play surviving for Spirit. The plant allows the rifles to come through for FaZe. And if they can keep that plant, then they will surely break them eventually.
Now Spirit have to wonder, and what is happening for FaZe? We still haven't seen any of those mid takes coming on in. And Spirit are not aggressive anywhere. They don't have A main control. They don't have B main control. So Spirit are in the dark completely at the moment. As far as they're concerned, this could be a pop to one of the sites.
I wonder if the attitude changes when the AWP comes out. Both sides lacking one for now. FaZe really have to deliver on this round. After only one player standing for Spirit. They may still have a bye the next round regardless, but again, they've got to get the engine started now. Donk able to avoid the flashes, willing to stand his ground as well. He's got his own support, but Jacob wins the duel. Zon takes the trade, keeps the numbers good for Spirit, and he does one better than that. 4-on-2, bomb dropped in mid. This round should be dead for FaZe.
Well, Frozen, though, trying to make a chance here. 20 seconds to go for the bomb to get planted, but it is lost in middle, so at this point, it's not really all that much that can be done, and you can see FaZe really changing the timing of this round. I think really hoping that Spirit would have gotten aggressive somewhere, but Spirit just seemed also very ready for a pace switch up.
They have to save, obviously, here, FaZe. Spirit know that too. The quest is just too much to ask. Oh, Bowen after time! Oh, you got to tuck in that corner. But who knows what's behind him. What a tough spot for FaZe. This is a disastrous start for the squad. Again, that was a retake they could not allow to be successful.
Yeah, they kind of, it feels like with the Sage weapon on Frozen that they kind of have to force play around this.
They're not getting the frags here, FaZe.
Yeah.
Jaboen and Twist, Frozen and Natu, between the four of them, have got 2 frags in the 4 rounds we've had so far.
Yeah, and given that we did have some, success getting onto the B side, getting an afterplant and so on, that's a rough situation to be in. Maybe they could have converted that round.
They've got the AKs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's problematic. So far, it feels like Spirit are reading them very effectively. And if you're Spirit preparing for this matchup, this is the one map that you're going to be preparing for, and it's the one map that you're going to have the most data on against FaZe. So you can see that so far, the game plan for Spirit working out very well on the CT side.
I don't think they had chain flashes for Donk's position. I think it was just the one flash that was coming his way, which he easily avoided and just won the duel because Donk. So that might be something that FaZe can pick up on for future rounds. But again, they can ill afford anything. Their AWP has got $150 in this round. Very tough ask. Shiro 5-0, Tanir 6-1. Position is good, but you've got to win those duels as well.
Okay, over the top they go. Donk on the other end again, just hungry for the multi-kills here. As the AK as well.
Oh, no!
I guess you got to make it a little bit harder for Donk.
It's a false flag operation.
And out they go. Flash easily dodged again by Donk. Take some damage though. And staying out there. Opportunity here as they're getting close, but Donk is just going to spray them down. Assistance even coming in from the mid position as well, from CT. And yeah, leaving much to be desired there for FaZe. Again, just not really the tools for the job. And again, J-Bone dying after time in that previous round. It really hurts because you'd love to have him on an AWP in this round.
I know it's an eco round, and they don't have...
They're going to drop one for him.
They're missing a lot of util and so on, but these flashes onto Donk, he's avoiding them so easily. Like, have a look at that. They've got to adapt to that. They've got to have some chain flashes because there's no reason for him to leave. He wins those duels. If he can see he wins those duels, he sees that flash coming. There's no chain flash behind it. So I don't think he's feeling terribly challenged in that position.
Yeah, totally agree with you on that. FaZe, they've been looking to get a faster timing on here. They've been pretty slow. They do get a player down to the vent as well very quickly. Indeed, that's Twist. See what he can do with that position. As you say, Donk is out there, ready to go. magixx, oh, not getting caught off guard. And now Twist taking the fight against Donk. We'll take him out. So that is something at least. With magixx on 9 HP towards B, FaZe do have a lot more to work with in this position, but Tanir's getting active. Yeah,
a lot more. It's turning into a lot less as the seconds continue to tick, and we did ask questions about this aggression. Once York came through, that's exactly what's happening. But Jay Bowen's got that spatial awareness. That's really, really important. But still Spirit have got Shiro creeping in this position, scoped in. I'm not sure if any of the action in A main was heard by Natu in this position. But what is the next play from FaZe? They're somewhat surrounding the B bomb sites at present. Now, does Natu take a risk here? He's got info on Shiro. That's a really scary angle to hold versus an AWP. And there's that flank we spoke about. Twist again through the defenses. But which way does the bomb go? Jay Bowen's just holding angles over towards B, but heading towards A now as they look to collapse on the A bomb sites.
Jay Bowen does have a smoke here he can put down for the cross. So even though Shiro's on this position, the car position, they should be safe. We'll see if that smoke is going to create the safety though. There we go. 20 seconds for the plant, so they'll be good on that one. And Twist actually takes down, I mean, Twist is delivering in this round. 3 kills, very critical kills as well. And looks like we'll see the first round finally going to FaZe.
Yeah, I love Twist's role for his squad. He's really in the trenches for FaZe and doing great work, great minds to have in that position. So the fight back continues, it starts rather, for FaZe. A very late start, late entrance into this first half on their pick off Cash. We expect so much from them. They've been the one to watch as far as this map is concerned. They've got a lot of work to do to clear out that CT money. But again, I think Donk in that short position, as they continue to contest mid, it's going to be an important one to solve. Nice. Taste of your own medicine.
Is he breaking? Did you alert smoke at all?
Shiro's got one of the better spawns for the CTs. So let's see what he does with his AWP. But again, I think that's an important moment, Jay Bowen winning that frag. A, so they can win the round, but also so they can just confirm what the CTs are up to. They're going to try and take some space away from you. And there's Shiro again with one of the best spawns heading over towards B on this occasion.
Yeah, got the D-Law out, ready to go. It'll be a cool round. You know, I can imagine them thinking FaZe would maybe switch something up here, but FaZe, you know, just sticking with the default here, it would appear.
They've got a high focus towards A main this time. I'm not sure if they've got players boosted once more. FaZe perhaps responding to the aggression we saw in A main in the rounds prior. There will be that exchange of grenades.
Yeah, just keeping the attention in mid here whilst Jay Bowen gets active in A main, like you said. And he's found it. He's found the opening, the distraction play. It works out here for them.
Keeping Donk entertained, but it is a quick rotation over towards A, and he'll get into position. A lot of players to deal with, though, and these fights will be so isolated, but there's a second CT, should it be required. Donk, the initial engager, magixx here as well. Multiple angles for FaZe to deal with. They've not really made it onto the bomb site, despite the util.
This needs to make this kill happen. Great delay from magixx. Oh no, FaZe. It looks so good on the entry. Jay Bowen has to deliver against every single player now. 2 or 3 more to go. It has to be the ace clutch. 30 seconds to go. Bomb is lost on the site. And he's just going to have to save. And you can't blame him at all. Maybe trying to catch somebody in pursuit, but Spirit know better than that, surely.
Yeah, Shiro is in position also. I think he knows he might be being baited, entertained. It feels like it's very hard to save in many of these rounds on Cash. magixx have put him out of his misery. A tough one for FaZe. Again, they had the util, they had the smokes up all over the place, but it just didn't cross to the site. magixx hard to kill, as he often is. Really just left them stuck in the choke points in all the worst ways.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great round from FaZe too, you know, building off of that, the mid conditioning that they have had so far. In a round where Jay Bowen gets the AWP, they set up a pick for him, he gets the pick. They try to explode into the site and it just doesn't work out. Very, very hard for CT side from Spirit right now.
It's tough because you can get util, you can get smokes and other things onto magixx's position, but it can also telegraph your intentions if you're waiting for that to land and pop.
Yeah.
FaZe able to muster a buy though, but you can see the stress levels are already high. Frozen 1 for 6 so far on that T side. He was a focus from the desk in that first game. There is magixx dealt with. 4 and 4 minute 20. There are worse positions to be in for FaZe.
Yeah, this is interesting because there's a lot of time to get a reset on the CT rotation. And again, in spots like this, the CTs either stack or they're going to push A main or B main for info. That's oftentimes what happens. Mid often gets given up.
What timing?
And if you're looking to scale into mid, you could catch Donk, and there we go. Jacob finds it. Perfect timing as he rotates back. And Donk is oftentimes rotated off to B. So how do you read where the remaining players are for the Spirit side here? Looks like they'll be walking up the short position. There's only one player on the site, and no idea. Tenier completely caught. And that should be a very, very nice 4v2 after plant here now for FaZe.
Good spread for the squad. There is an outside chance of a tied score at half-time. Don't forget, as hard as it has been, there is still time to right the ship for FaZe on the T side of Cash. Spirit more encouraged to save on this occasion. You can see Tenier's got bad money, magixx as well. They won't be hunting FaZe players on this occasion. So as much of a struggle as it has been for FaZe, opportunity knocks for them with what remains in this half.
Something that's interesting too as well, James, is that we've seen FaZe, not really get many afterplants. I mean, one of the most successful ones that they had that they'd still lost, obviously they only have 2 rounds now, was that afterplant on B. And we haven't really seen, the fast splits into B, or much in the way of, set B pieces or mid control into B. It only really happened that one time. In the one time it happened, they did get the bomb down. So I'm curious if FaZe will switch things up, and as we see, they get caught in the back there. I'm curious if FaZe will start just, peppering in some B plays now.
FaZe's recent history is so good on this map. 74% T round win, 68 CT, 75% pistol wins. Everything looking good. But we'll see what it looks like when that's all going up against Spirit. Again, solidly, they still have a buy for this one. Shiro still on the AWP. Again, he's got one of the better spawns for the CT side. His options are available to him. Went to B last time, had a go at checkers. We'll see where he chooses to go this time. Zontix heading over towards B, and Shiro will be over towards A. So I do wonder, I'm kind of waiting for that orb to get posted up once again. Speaking of orbs though, magixx is dropped very, very early, focusing on the CT spawn, and Jaboan had one for himself.
Yeah, he had a great timing there, just catches the rotate across onto the white box. Classic catch stuff there, but Donk has gone aggressive under the boost here, so although he's going to be left alone here, so he's not going to get boosted up. And he's going to be able to potentially escape it now thanks to that smoke. He doesn't really like being that forward without the support.
Yeah, this is a tough spot. Spirit feel spread very thin at present. Difficult to get into aggressive spots. They've got a 2-man setup over towards B with Zontix and Shiro. And FaZe can ask questions of them in a 5-on-4. Very strong spot for them. Minutes on the clock and they get active.
Yeah, the fake here onto the B site, bomb towards A. And there's only one player towards A. It's already the weak side here, so Spirit, they're going to have those extra players kept entertained for longer. But Donk seems to have a quick read now that the info has been given by Tenier, who goes down. Donk has to do it alone. 1 versus 1 against Natu. Another 1v1 for Donk, but Twist, who does seem to be quite the catch beast, is going to be locking that one down. Another 4v2 afterplant on A here for FaZe.
They still seem to be going for it. And those numbers are dwindling. Shiro may have heard a rotation coming through from that B bomb site. He is surrounded. AWP may be soon to be lost. FaZe building now. And again, this is a very important round for them. Spirit are lacking by every measure now. They really must hold on to this AWP, but they won't do that either. Game on for FaZe.
And they're back here. They're definitely back, and a lot of it has come off the back of creating these openings. Jaboan obviously gets that timing on mid. Going to be able to see it here. This is again just catching, moving across the white box. If you got the best spawn, you're able to do that.
Vintage.
And then we're starting to see some of the individuals, especially Twist. He's been a consistent player here, I think, with these impactful kills in this game so far. And now it's just the pistols for Spirit.
Oh, I was going to say, guess what, Dan? Shiro's got a great spawn, but guess what, Dan? He's only got a USP. This is what FaZe have been looking for, building towards. So they've got a good spread. They're looking for aggression from the CT side. They've got every angle covered. You can see Jaboan posted up on Squeaky Door. Angles towards B, mid, A main, everything covered.
trying to see if they, like that molly could potentially trigger a push into A main if the CTs had a setup where they're waiting to see an exec and then try to like basically jump on it before it gets in. That's kind of what Twist was doing there.
Nice. There we go, Frozen. Where have you been?
And this is perfect timing here for FaZe. You can start to see some of the experience and how they're reading the map here. Timing to try to check mid. Spirit don't know what's going on. And FaZe, they've shown a lot of fakes here, so you can never be super confident. But starting to get into position. But this feels dangerous, James. Bomb is actually going back towards mid now. And maybe it's going to be a B. FaZe have been so good on these fakes.
They've still got util also. And A2 will entertain as the bomb heads elsewhere. So, again, a good mind for what's happening across the map. That rifle will be lost eventually. Could be a good bonus. We'll see what Spirit choose to do. Rescued by magixx, but too far away. That AK could certainly come in handy. Oh, an AWP as well. Now that is unfortunate. That is very unfortunate indeed.
It kind of sucks that you're giving away so much here for to Spirit, but at the same time you're picking up the rounds, and that's the most important part. And I think these rounds are kind of dangerous because you want to get onto a bomb site, but you're not sure. It's hard to kind of figure out where the stack is. You can't just carpet bomb everything with nades, but let's see if any of these guns actually might be dealt with. I don't know, it looks very difficult for Frozen. Can he find the head of magixx at least? He can't, yeah, it's a great position there from magixx, completely covered.
Well, let's see. Shiro's got a crap spawn, at least there's that.
Yeah, Donk as well.
From the FaZe point of view. I just wonder, will there be any impact to be had with these collected weapons? We'll see. But again, barely a lifeline for FaZe the way this one started, but they have certainly got themselves back into the action. So let's see if they can close things out with a tied score at half-time then.
Everyone's setting up the pop flash there outside of the mid position. Very, very fast scaling on in. magixx in the sandbags position. Someone has to check for this. There's no Molotov. No one's checking. It's a disaster. Donk comes out the vent. The punish is astronomical from Spirit.
So laser focused on short. They're always on short, but what timing for magixx to stand by the sandbags. Crippling the rounds. Tanir spots the boost as well. There's going to be a feeling of emptiness after that one. A gifted round to Spirit to confirm they have a lead at halftime.
A cheeky grin there from magixx as well afterwards. Oh, man. You hate to see moments like that. Here it is. No
one checking.
Nothing. Oh man, it's painful to see for FaZe after such good work, such diligence, such attention to detail. One unchecked spot.
J-Bone had a good spawn towards mid there and was able to get a leg onto Donk, jumping over towards short. Just to catch you up.
It's good damage. It's going to make Donk feel less confident to get active in the early stages of this round. FaZe playing another slow one here, and if they could catch a pick in this position for J-Bone, that would be incredible. But will they expect Zontix's position? HE does land its way there. FaZe has a lot on J-Bone to get the opening for them in this round. It would really start to allow them a lot. And will there be an info play here from the CTs? Absolutely. And there's the info trap, the punish, and J-Bone's opened up again.
He knows there's got to be some support somewhere. It's Tanir who picks up the slack instead of Donk in that short position. He's over towards the A-bomb sites at the moment. magixx under the vent now. Numbers are dwindling for Spirit, but you know this man can still do something. Look at him preemptively trying to transfer. Nothing doing in that regard, and it's Shiro in a 1 versus 3. Last round and a half, has to go for it. Has a kit. Can he find the right angle, though? As Frozen playing a very awkward one. Looking to secure that 5th round for FaZe at halftime, and he'll do exactly that. They are absolutely in the fight in the second map of this series.
All right, we're here with FaZe Clan, we're here with Twist, J-Bone. Let's just get into this, okay? How do you guys think the online portion of this event went for you?
Yeah, on a team level, the individual performance went pretty good for the players, and also the team performance was pretty solid. Our games were relatively very simple, and yeah, felt good to qualify.
J-Bone, I think when you put on the FaZe jersey, changes the pressure from being an academy player. Have you felt that when you're playing some of these matches?
I think the pressure is like mainly from myself. I don't feel the pressure from my teammates or the organization or like the fans or something like this. Like it's like only from me.
What do you think the hardest aspects of the jump up have been beyond just the pressure?
The enemies are like way better like for what I'm used to. Normally I could just like abuse people and just like re-peek into everything and take like some stupid duels, and now I just get punished if I do like these stupid decisions maybe. And yeah, like the team level is just way higher, yeah.
Let me ask Twist, have you had to take him aside and be like, you know, you can't do that type of peak at that level type of thing?
He said it himself, like he's finding out. I think what Nikki and I work on is more fundamental stuff. Where to be at what time on the map, where not to show yourself. You know, how having the op is like, it's a game where you choose where you want the info to be for the enemy. And I think that's something that he's figuring out, and NK is doing a good job as well.
How about your journey as in-game leader? Does it feel more comfortable now than it did the first time around?
Yeah, it felt much more comfortable. I think I was a lot more ready to take on the rule now, whereas like back then it was kind of just a band-aid that ended up becoming something a bit longer to last. It's night and day for me as a captain here versus when I was a captain in Liquid.
How is your IGLing style in terms of how you want to lead the team?
I think it's a lot more structured. I think our games have displayed that sometimes rounds are a bit more free, and sometimes there's a lot more set pieces into whatever ending, per se.
How does it feel when Kerrigan leaves you guys after you just missed the major and then he goes to win it?
I think I'm allowed to kind of be salty about it, but I can also be happy for him and the players that are there. I mean, winning a major is a very hard thing to do. A lot of teams, a lot of players only win it one time. Of course, I'm happy for him. Do I think the situation that we're in when it happened was diabolical? Yeah, it was diabolical. At the end of the day, it is what it is. I think taking on the challenge instantly and kind of welcoming the rebuild and looking forward to the future of FaZe, I think it's created a lot of hunger in the team.
For the bounty, what's your guys' team expectation?
I think team expectation is semifinals, I would say finals, and then we can think about what it takes to really get the trophy. So yeah, I think we have realistic expectations for us this event. We definitely want to beat whoever we pick into the game that we play. Yeah, I think we're hungry as a team.
Bitten off more than they can chew here against Spirit. A 5-7 scoreline going into the second half. The CT side of Cash, a map in which FaZe have been so successful with this roster of late. But here it's the greatest test now as we kick off the pistol.
I think FaZe could really do with winning this pistol. Would be a great stimulus package for them. Otherwise, things will get even harder. J-Bone starts as he means to proceed. 6 for 8 at present. Good average of frags on the FaZe side with that late comeback they made in the first half, but there's more work to do.
And A2, such a good anchor here with the USP. Overwhelming numbers is what he's up against. Can he hold on here with something? Well, that's something. Takes down Donk as well. A high-value target has been dropped. 4 versus 3 on the retake. Twist with not just a kit, but he's got the smoke for the retake here. FaZe with some options.
Yeah, he's got teammates with him also. Frozen's on a late rotation coming through from A main. The other 3 are effectively together. That clock is ticking. Shiro spotting some from his forklift position, just dancing, trying to tease. Jacob dropped 3 on 3 now, and things gets worse for FaZe. With Frozen coming in from the back, he's got 2. Can he get the last one? He's running out of bullets though, and now they've got a chase to near. Round the corners, he's got a shadow advantage, but up top will be Twist. He's got the kit as well. Get off the bomb, I've got the kit, he says. And that will be the round secured. That has got to be a must-win for FaZe, and they have succeeded.
Yeah, great stuff from Frozen as well, who honestly, all in all, hasn't been having the best series. So for him to really be the one to step up there, and you could see the urgency because he needed to make sure that his position was unknown the entire time. His team is trying to hold on and buy time for him to get this flank off. This was just such a small margin of timing, and then the high-low setup is the classic way to finish off the 2v1. FaZe, you'd love to see it from them. 6-7 now. They just have to deal with the force buy. And would you look at that, how much utility and weaponry is being carried?
That is a team with a plan, a menacing plan. 2 CTs over towards B. It's going to be a longer rotation for the other FaZe players from short, having to go maybe make a risky play through mid if they head towards the vent. Spirit closing the distance. Smoke on that short position as one. Frozen been popped. We've got problems. Alarm bells are ringing. Jacob needs help, and he needs it fast.
Straight onto the side there. Jacob does take down Donk at the very least. 3 versus 3 on the retake here. Not much utility, only an HE for Natu. These players aren't very low either, so it's not going to find a frag. Bomb down. Urgency to near. I don't know how that weapon even works at 2 versus 3 to avoid a catastrophe for FaZe. And I don't even know if they go for it at this point. They are locked out of position. Smoke is up as well. It doesn't look good here. Jay Bowen is going to fall away, and Twist, you know, he's going to be able to catch anyone who tries to punish the footsteps, but they give it up.
You can see him shaking his head. Absolutely disastrous. Many will argue that it's worse to win the pistol and then lose with a full reset for a CT side on that second round. They avoid that at the very least, but it ain't looking good. Let's not forget that retake we saw in a similar scenario from Spirit in the first half, which will probably make that feel even worse.
The Tech 9, it's a menace. It's illegal, James.
It's a hard round to lose.
Yeah, that's... I feel like everyone, I think, is feeling that. Everyone who's played Counter-Strike is feeling that right now.
His crosshair was looking good.
Oh, heartbreaking moments here for FaZe. They do have a couple safe rifles. They have forced around it. Deagles, some utility. And Spirit, they're going to just go for a hit onto the A site. Jay Bowen looking to get pop flashed in with a teammate there as well. Twists into the A main position. FaZe might have the read.
Oh, he gets immediately wrecked. He was carrying utility as well. Jabone doesn't have any. Trying to hide in plain sight and find a fight if he can. But there's just nowhere for him to go. Natu needs a miracle. He's got to find a lot of Deagle shots here. He manages to do exactly that! I can't believe it! He's still standing as well. Molly goes into the smoke. He's got more to offer. How is he still alive? What an overperformance. That's utterly ridiculous. Superior fabrics, finer designs. That's nasty work.
He's like, oh my God, guys, I did enough on Dust2. It wasn't enough, but we can win this map, and by God, we're gonna do it. The Deagle coming in, insane stuff there, and that is gonna just breathe life into the team right now. A round that started out an absolute disaster. It looked like Spirit had every answer. But Natu from the forklift, the classic cash stuff right here. And they get to finish it off too, James. It wasn't in vain.
My words, exactly what they needed. Talk about a shot of adrenaline.
We're back. FaZe are back into this match right now. But Spirit certainly have something to say about it. Donk has the AK-47, the singular AK. Might be a test, might be a headshot. Ready for Donk. Jay Bowen is actually going to dink him as well. So he takes him down to 4 HP, but look how active FaZe are being right now. They're getting ahead of this push potentially.
So scrappy. So aggressive. Off angle from Zontix is perfect. Back and forth we go. This always hurts the CT side more, in my opinion. That will certainly help. They only hear Frozen's footsteps falling back. Do they think there's a window for them to push B here? Hard to do with the smoke up.
Shiro as well, he's in such a good spot to hear information. This does not look good for FaZe. Right now, I mean, they're going to need some luck on their side. Not just the 3 versus 4, but with Frozen, best weapon, 4 HP, he's stuck in vent. And look how cognizant Spirit are of this position.
There is the molly in the hands of magixx. Oh dear. Nice to see you, nice. Is that the end of the round then? Natu and Twist remain. There's still a fair amount of play remaining in this one, in this half, which may be a saving grace for FaZe, who are straight back up against it.
Yeah, the high energy, the energy injection from the previous round. It's all gone in a moment. Donk hitting that initial headshot onto Jay Bowen. And you had the right idea. FaZe had the right idea. Pushing B aggressively with the rifles, I think it was a great reaction. But the problem is against Team Spirit is that they hit really hard. And you can't be putting a foot wrong on those engagements. It's not over just yet, James. We've got a couple rifles saved there for the CT side. They could absolutely try to force buy around it. I don't know if they would like to do that. One more save and they will have a buy, but that would be Spirit on 10 rounds.
It's tough if you get into the forces, because you can often end up just with never having an optimal buy on your CT side, never having the AWP. So it's a tough choice, regardless of which way you go. A timeout from Spirit as they consider their options. Donk with 13 frags, just one ahead of the likes of Tanir, magixx. Frozen with 10 for his team. He's had some really important frags. Speaking of important, Natu and that Deagle, man.
Oh, yeah.
We'll not forget that for a while. But there's more work to be done. They'll have to think about that later when all is said and done. Just 2 rounds behind, but likely to be 3 with how this buy is looking. They are going to force around these rifles after all.
I mean, it actually kind of makes a lot of sense because Spirit don't have that much economy. If they get reset now, that is FaZe's way to get momentum back into this half and to send it all the way to the finish. So it makes a lot of sense they're doing this. Jay Bowen posted in the sandbag's position. He gets dinged? No. I thought on the HUD there that his health went away, but he's fine. He's fine, James.
Not much to work with. Frozen should drop his smoke to his teammate if he's going to be up in that boost spot.
Zontics. See a very late lurk here in this position. Because we've got all this activity now in mid that will certainly draw some players' attention here from FaZe.
Nice. You need to learn the specific mollies for that position that always cover the sandbags as well, because if you don't throw a good one, you can just stand on the sandbags if you're lucky. Then you've got a sneakier position.
Oh, is there a chance?
Yeah, Donk was spotted, but Donk is still Donk. And Natu's the one who dies. That's kind of how it works when you go up against Donk.
Yeah, his pathing there was predictable. Jacob does get... Oh, hello! Jacob and Twist both chiming in with a frag. 3 versus 3. Things speed up now for Spirit. Onto the site. Twist delivers again here for FaZe. Decent damage onto magixx down to half. Frozen and Jacob. Is there a way? Is there a world?
There's another HE where that came from. And that will help. That will help. Odd as an incendiary also for Jacob. And he's got a good angle to throw it. So let's see now. Frozen and magixx. I think this duel is going to be really important to see who wins what. Okay, just down to magixx now. 1 versus 2. He's got the first one up against the rifle of Jacob. Jacob's been doing great work for FaZe, and it will be another clutch 1v1 that is secured by FaZe. The individuals are standing up for the squad. We have to remember what Twist did to make that doable in the first place. They're all delivering when they need to, FaZe, in these difficult rounds.
And the pressure's not going to stop here because you can bet Spirit are going to force buy off of this. They got the bomb down. No round is a given. And there we go. We get the remainder, especially Jacob to finish. Twist to get the openers and Jacob to close. And indeed, we're going to see a force buy from Spirit. They got the bomb down. They've got a few rifles here. Mac-10, Tech-9, lots of nades. This is going to be another very drama-filled round here that FaZe have to contest against.
Did they hear something? Oh, he's opening the door for his teammate. Nice setup here from FaZe. And Spirit might wonder there's a big swing. And in goes Natu. I don't think they were expecting that. It's a good start. Always about how you finish. Jay Bowen's been shrapnelled by Zontics. Twist now, it's his turn at the forklift. Natu still delivering. What a beast he's been for his team. Natu's got so many big impact frags in this series so far. Solid hold from FaZe towards the end.
Yeah, really great to see, and it's also very cool to see that Natu's able to play the position there as a CT that he is often playing as a T, because we saw him playing the door spot so often. Very reliable pair of hands when needed. Very important initial kills there from FaZe to stall out the momentum. 9-9, and it's a full save for Spirit. FaZe, they've been up against it. The resiliency is winning for them, though, right now at least.
Two Desert Eagles, 3 Glocks. An extended an extended timeout for Spirit to absorb what FaZe have been doing, to think about the buy rounds to come. What different looks have we shown? How have they responded?
And Zontix with the only Deagle now as the mid play comes in. Twist could be farming if they decide to go over the top, but they're going back into A main.
Donk's collected a Deagle also.
Aha, yes, right. Jay Bowen could improve his frags here, but the peak. Oh my God, what is happening? That is not the time to press the jump key. And he's able to get away with his life and gets the key information to see some players, but they can't overreact. 3 players to defend. Jay Bowen with recovery. Definitely, we're going beyond recovery. 2 kills, looking to make it 3, but there's the support now. And I think the worst is over. Oh my God, Tinir though, in with precision. Got to be careful. These Deagles really are problematic in this game of catch, but Jay Bowen.
Lucky to get away with that one.
Yes.
I think he fears the pre-fire. You got to believe in yourself, man.
Yeah, I was going to say that's exactly what I was thinking too. The pre-fire is the very most dangerous thing that you could possibly think of there.
Yeah, I mean, once you're in the spot, yeah, it's set. It's set.
Yeah,
you know, it's like an AWPer pulling out a flashbang or something. You're the AWPer. Go do the AWPing.
There is value to surviving though as well, because then they fear the re-peak, so you kind of provide some stall.
He's got a really good spawn here, Jay Bowen, the only AWP on the server, and he is going to be taking his good spawn over towards B. Maybe there's an engagement with Zontix to be had. I like how his teammates gone through the smoke as well to keep the options open.
Going under boost 2, they're getting active in this round. There's that engagement. Does find Zontix. It's going to be Jacob though, and then boosting up Twist at the same time. Spirit might get caught off guard by this.
It feels like FaZe are starting to get a stranglehold on this map of cash. Again, a very dry start, but Spirit now, it's their turn to be pulled pillar to post, their turn to be bullied, their turn to be dictated to by FaZe.
Yeah, you like to see it here from FaZe, you know, recovering themselves back into more defensible positions. They've gotten the picks they needed. They forced Spirit to have to ship it all in onto one of the 2 bomb sites. FaZe won't know which one it is, but they have fast response times because it's still 5 up.
Jacob, I was about to say, likely to be barbecued. He'll have to move very quickly if he is to stay standing in this one. He's got Frozen full support with a flashbang as well. They need to try and fit these numbers out as Spirit make their way onto the bomb site, and that will be great work from FaZe. Really rising, getting stronger as we get deeper into this map of cash. Shiro will try to do damage if he can. Unable to do so. 4 players standing for FaZe at the end of the round. 11-9 now. Do you believe, if you're there, if you're supporting FaZe, do you believe in this? Do you believe in a 3rd map versus Spirit?
Yeah, great calling from Twist there, you know, to go aggressive on the CT side in that very pivotal round, because actually no bomb plant this time. And Spirit, they don't have money really, so this is going to be very awkward for Spirit now. And again, it's brave to, you know, it's courageous to call the aggressive CT rounds in multiple spots at once when your opponent, if they just pick up a round, they punish your aggression, it's over. But it pays off for FaZe, shows exactly, as you said, the read that they have for cash now. The heads are really truly in the game right here.
Job's not done yet though, but they are in a very good position. 11 rounds on the board, Spirit on pistols, a half fight. They are dangerous. But again, FaZe must remain focused. The job is not done yet. Still a dangerous round, Tech9's always high threats. Jay Bowen roaming with the AWP. A nasty surprise waiting for Spirits.
Really good positions on B from FaZe, actually. It's not much util here, so not going to get smoked out of the B side too easily. As the noise is made in mid, you can see Spirit targeting that B play, and FaZe should have the players in position to deal with this, but getting overwhelmed quickly is the biggest danger.
Yeah, it's a good-looking read from Twist, playing closer to that bomb site with Jay Bowen, holding out the short position with the AWP. And they will thin these numbers out exactly how they need to. That is perfect stuff from them. So there was a great setup from FaZe. Again, Jay Bowen on the A bomb site, able to look all the way down into mid. We saw a smoke, deep up short to maybe try and make FaZe nervous, but they hold position, they hold their pattern, they don't take the bait and wipe out the attempt on B. Game point FaZe.
Yeah, they're showing right now. This is why they picked this map. This is why, you know, teams have been looking at them, trying to study how they play this map, because they really understand how it works. And I mean, just think of how much disruption it took for them to get here as well. 12-9, and the buy comes in again from Spirit. What is the call here for FaZe? They've given up the A bomb site entirely in the opening right now.
Feels like a very long time since Shiro had an AWP, but yes, an interesting formation we're seeing here from FaZe. Taking some liberties at the beginning of the round. Natu just having a passive spot towards A main from the carpet position. Waiting for Spirit to make their play. Frozen's got very good timing onto Zontix. False sense of security. And then there were four standing between FaZe and a third map of Anubis.
What is the move here from Spirit? Right now, FaZe are pretty good to defend this. Great play behind the smoke. Again, now things get more difficult here for Spirit. They don't have any control on the map at the moment. Frozen's gone deeper beyond the smoke, and this off angle is going to be very difficult, even when you're looking for it. magixx goes down, and now Shiro on the other end. What does Spirit even have here? A challenge on the A bomb site. Natu anchors, of course, and now Shiro against the world.
Last man for Spirit. Such a strong start. I think FaZe enjoyers were worried at the beginning of this one. But FaZe say, if you want a fight, you've got one. As they're so close to forcing that third map now. 30 seconds for Shiro, 1 versus 4. Walking into a potential double peak here. This is surely the end of the line for Spirit. Oh, hold on a second. Able to isolate the fight there. That's a good read from him. The flash is up, but that's a wrap. Jay Bowen with the final frag, and FaZe will force that third and final map of Anubis.
Incredible scenes on Cash. It's why they are feared on this map right now. And the fact that they could go and do it against Spirit, but the fact that they can do it against Spirit, considering how many things went wrong.
Interesting ingredients the desk alluded to. I think FaZe will come into this one with confidence, and confidence just is not going to be enough to overcome Spirit. I think there are lessons for FaZe to learn in the example matches that the desk gave that Spirit have had recently, different paces, aggressive sides, and so on. FaZe can learn from this, but putting that all together, bringing strats and toppling Spirit in a best-of-3 series is still just something else entirely. Again, to set the scene here, 25 matches since Spirit lost to not Falcons, not Vitality. The race is on for FaZe.
Let's see what FaZe can do here on the pistol. I think this T side is going to be so extremely impactful in their chances to win. So they need to start off with a good pistol. Looking to get into that B bomb site. Donk in this position. We often find him in. They're on the site close to E-Box.
FaZe did pick this side as well. Jay Bowen clutched the knife round of 3 kills. 3v1 in the knife for them to pick this T side. Through the smoke it will have to be. Don keeps the flash, but oh yeah, he'll eat some lead as well. That leaves Tanir needing some help. He has some. Dropping Jacob. They're going to commit to the bomb flood here. And round in corner he goes. A little spin to win. And FaZe are still in good stead. Zontix and Shiro, last 2, make it 1 now as Shiro faces 3.
Yeah, have they done enough here? Shiro with the dualies. You can't underestimate it. And he goes. So many positions to be teased. They can play the time, they can play the numbers, the crossfires. They've got all sorts going for them here, FaZe. They've done so much work, and helpless is Shiro as FaZe pick up indeed that much needed pistol round.
Yeah, it's a really good way to start their T side. They do their best work on
What
the
if they win, James? What if they win?
Yeah, why not ask early? It's a good question. They're north of 60% T round win. They had a very good match recently versus 3D Max, 13-1. on Anubis. So again, they'll be full of confidence, and they've had, let's not forget, I mean, hey, they haven't, okay, they're against the USPs, they're on a T side. They've had some really rough starts to sides on this series, and to have this way to start the third map, again, it's just encouragement building. You can do this. You have the belief.
And they're ready for the plays. Giving lots of respect to the aggression, although A2 is somewhat alone. But you'll see Spirit will back away. Kind of like the, the Homer backing into the bushes. Skip, heavy boy there, not wanting to test that position again. And now FaZe taking this mid control. They've got the Mac 10 there. Slowly progressing with a utility, making it all nice and diligent and responsible, disciplined Counter-Strike here. No problems here just yet, but moving into the site with 4 players on the A-long position. Maybe something can be done here by Spirit.
Twisty expendable man. USP running distraction, but the problems are being solved by FaZe. We'll see if they can protect that. Oh, hold on a second. Zontix, how do you get 2 from this? It's still just USPs, but oh, if Natu looks the wrong time, it could be a 2v2. It could be a 2v2. Okay, everything's fine. Everybody calm down. Threats neutralized. All good in the hood.
I swear, Zontix with a USP is actually insane. We've seen in this tournament, we've seen some ridiculous stuff from him, just casually and surprisingly getting a lot more value than you'd expect. But the 2-0 for FaZe, with acceptable losses, I think one would say. It's making it look like a deagle. It's the golden gun, James.
Well, now the real guns are out. No more N64. Jay Bowen on the AWP, the one and only for this round. Looking for opportunity immediately over towards that B bomb site. Oh, that would have been a nice pick. The team will go in anyway. Now, can they solve this puzzle? A trade tracker going through the smoke. Tanir again trying to stay alive as best he can. The smokes are up and real estate's been taken. That should be the end of the round with that pick from Jay Bowen. Zontix and Shiro remain, but you don't want to throw that good money after the bad. Their round has been lost, their teammates are gone, and they're not coming back in this round.
Yeah, and you can see that every time they go into that B site, Donk just gets instantly killed. Donk has yet to find sort of value on the defense, and it's interesting because FaZe are just kind of bulldozing, not really caring about who's on which site. And so I'm curious, what will be the change, if anything, for Team Spirit, because it's got to feel pretty rough for them to get overpowered so simply. I love the contact play from the side of FaZe there, and I especially love it because there can be quite a bit of movement on the B site early. So a nice surprise there from FaZe to get a 3-0 start. And what's also interesting here, James, when you're on the T side like this as a caller, if you've got a lot of experience, you're starting to get into the head of the other team. You're starting to, as each round passes, show them rounds, openings, timings. And that could be something that Twist could really start to kind of capitalize upon as he plays against the expectation that he's setting.
They know it's not a good start. This is by no means a free round for FaZe, though. This will be dangerous. Rifles are out, SMGs are out, plenty of util also. Oh. Jay Bowen waiting. Spirit wondering, is this a trap? I'm sure FaZe will be laying many of them. Again, so much data. Rich of information. Will FaZe be?
And it's kind of interesting here as well, if you're, FaZe, you don't have much information, and there is a variety of things that Spirit could decide to do. They could actually be, kind of mid-collapse play, waiting for you to kind of go into that mid position at around the 1 minute mark. But FaZe are playing a little bit slower than that. Spirit had given up mid, but now they're rotating back towards mid here, giving up B. And it almost seems like the timing couldn't be more perfect for FaZe because they've pulled out of the B site completely as FaZe are looking to go in. Only magixx there.
Yeah, Tanir's going to be key in that mid position. 45 seconds, may still feel like an Eon as the utility continues to rein in. Donk now trying to hold things down, dropping Frozen, but unable to stop the trade fragger. They know Jay Bowen's posted up somewhere as well. 35 seconds, the remainder of Spirit rotating over 3 versus 4. They've got a HE, which Zontix could maybe find some good timing for if he can find an angle, but FaZe are still hunting for these frags, wanting to thin the numbers. They've got to assume that all these CTs are here. Chip Bowen trying to thin out these numbers, but Twist will be the one to do that. Zontix still standing for now, and it's Nade2 to trade. 4-0 FaZe.
I got a little bit dicey around the smokes, closing the distance. Spirit with those dangerous weapons, but you know, FaZe making sure that they had all the positions to cover all of the important spots. And they're not going to care that they lost a few guns there. You know, they've been winning rounds here pretty well, and so their economy's overall in a very decent spot. The 4-0 start, again, like we said, FaZe, they're right now, Twist is calling a great game. We're seeing in terms of, again, the timing of that round, it was perfect. If they'd gone into B, maybe 10, 15 seconds before that point, they would have walked into 3 players from Spirit.
It's 4-0 for FaZe. It's 0-4 for Spirit. magixx is also 0-4. Take a guess at how much damage magixx has done in this game, Dan.
Is it 0, James?
He has done 0 damage so far. He is not having a good deciding map just yet. 0 damage for magixx. Look at that. Not ideal at all. The M4s will be out. A little light on utility are Spirits in this 5th round. Couldn't ask for a better start for FaZe, however.
Zontix, you know, feeling the burden of being alone in that A-long position, receiving some of those pop flashes. Falls back a little bit. Respects it with a smoke. Dropped. Donk on E-box. Here's Jacob now creeping closer to that E-box position, looking to provide pressure there. But is that the intention? Is that the end of round intention for the FaZe side? Nervous stuff here, I think, for Spirit right now, as they don't know what's going on.
I wonder if Spirit will be encouraged to get aggressive towards A later on in this half. For now, we head towards that 45-second mark. And FaZe are busy in this mid position. Very defensive spots for Spirits as far as B is concerned. So really it's Zontix who's the early warning system over towards A. Donk being challenged by Jacob, dealing with that one. But what about the rest of FaZe? It's really unclear as to what's going on for Spirit here.
Yeah, Spirit looking to push the A main position. This would allow them to know what's going on, but pull a nade out there for the setup. Spirit getting ahead of the play. Perfect timing now. 2 players left here for FaZe against absolutely everyone. Frozen delivers the first headshot. 20 seconds to go. Now Jay Bowen with an AWP surrounded by Spirit players. Out comes the clock. 10 seconds, and Shiro will take him down. And finally, James, Spirit actually get ahead of FaZe and punish some of the plays they were making.
Yeah. Really good work, proactive over towards A. I was watching them on the radar around the A bomb site, Spirits, earlier on, holding nades, wondering what's happening, the timing of nades going on and so on, and I thought they would get itchy feet and start to press forward at some point, and they found great timing to do that. Some early frustrations for FaZe, but there's a lot of positives for them as well. One that's not a positive for FaZe is Shiro now, wielding the AWP. Jay Bowen again looking for early aggression. Maybe from Donk, he'll have to be careful if it is to be him.
Yeah, it's very possible that Spirit are very, like, just highly aware that they should just never peek that position. Donk has been some kind of solo holding it. In the previous round, FaZe was setting it up so that you could get some free position on the E-box. This is mid-aggression. You might be able to find openings.
Interesting spot towards A. magixx and Zontix are both jiggling A and mid, holding incendiaries, basically. So they're somewhat turtling in that respect, trying to buy time where they can. Not looking to drop a player early versus FaZe.
They really want to punish this E-box peek for info, but again, just Donk is never giving. He's never giving it.
This gamble towards A is allowing him to have a 3rd man over towards B also. Risking mid being compromised, but we'll see. Well, we may not see in this round then respond to that happening. Again, FaZe are very interested in having a close personal chat with Donk.
Yeah, and he's maybe feeling this one falling off, looking to get some info on that B main position. Pop flash comes in. Donk with the P frozen, ready to go blind. It doesn't matter. And a whip from Shiro, and suddenly the B site is cracked open, and the round may just be over for Spirit.
It's another round where magixx has got nothing to do. They're just not coming his way. He's still on 0 damage, minding his own business on the other side of the map. Not going to focus on it too much because it is CT side and position-based to some degree. But again, Zontix and magixx playing turtle style over towards A, completely retracted to B, allowing Spirit to still have three over towards B and still to no avail. Still, they can't hold against a surge of FaZe.
And I think it's really interesting because it's another round where Donk's change of position in that more forward spot on B and going to investigate to get info. Is there something going on outside of B? That was what created like a vacuum in the E-box position to allow FaZe to just barrel in. And that movement there is just Spirit thinking that FaZe are maybe moving a little bit faster than they are. So just these tiny differences and timings have provided a couple massive round victories here for FaZe. And for Spirit, they've got to start feeling like this is getting to be a really big problem.
Keep those voices up, Malta. Do not be shy. Great to have an atmosphere in the studio, especially when there's so much on the line here. A place in the grand final.
Aggressive from Spirit here. They're changing it up.
magixx trying to take the fight to the opponent, but here comes a faster play from FaZe as well. In they go. Trade frag is not necessary. Donk is gone once more. Tanir is smoked off. How to respond, Spirit? How do you get back into this fight?
And this B site has been just locked down time and again now. Once FaZe are in, it's a problem. Natu takes down Shiro. They've got more problems on the flank here now as well. This is going to completely disrupt the retake effort. It was already looking grim through that choke on E-box, but Natu is going to be found out by Zontix. But at this point, all forward position given. Spirit have to save the rifles. They've got no money. FaZe are just finding every right timing, every right read.
One step ahead. I was thinking, you know, maybe a storyline coming into this map is like, is the best of FaZe left behind them on cash, but perhaps not. Again, they had some good ingredients going into this third and deciding map, and it's a good start. Spirit had plenty of good starts versus FaZe in this series. Now it's FaZe's turn.
And can I just say as well, James, I think as you pointed out, maybe one of the most important things here was the fact that something that no one saw on the broadcast. J Bowen clutched the knife round. They got to pick the T side.
Yeah, and 1v3, J Bowen.
1v3
just came in there and clapped.
Yeah, you guys we gotta like maybe put some respect on this on the analyst desk. It's gonna be a part of the overall picture of the match.
I want to see an extended conversation with at least 3 back and forths between Vu and Maui Snake talking about
the director's cut of
the
like
1v3 and the knife round.
Yeah. Because seriously, I mean, it makes a big difference if you can carve out the rounds here. And obviously, we understand that in just the overall dynamic of Anubis, the T side is where you can, if you pick up the pistol, you can put them, to use the fighting game term, you can put the CT side in the vortex here, where now they're just constantly guessing. You got all these mix-ups, they don't really know what exactly is coming next, and you're just sucked into the mind games. 6-1, back on the buy Spirit.
magixx a little more forward in that mid position for a time. And again, FaZe changing the pace, changing the direction, keeping the guesswork constant for Spirit. And there's so much utility behind FaZe as well with this early map control they've taken.
And they can sit on this now. They can absolutely sit on this and force Spirit to respond, to get information. And that's when we are into the territory of info traps. And that's what Spirit are going to be worried about. So they've got to be really, really cautious. Again, Donk has never peaked for info, this E-box position, fully respecting that J Bowen's been on it time and again.
Donk so desperate to find a way into this one, avoiding the flashes and this time holding his ground. No one behind it on this occasion. But what other options are FaZe waiting on, asks Spirit. Surprises to come in this mid position. Bowen has his angle now.
Delay here is really good here. Spirit are getting ahead of the play now. They know what's going on. They were stuck 3 to B. They kind of fell for or accepted that it was probably going to be a B off the E-box aggression, but now they know what's going on, and there's 20 seconds to plant. Shiro posted on the A-long position. You feel like Spirit have everything they need here.
Tanir could have a part to play if he can get oh, never mind that. Shiro collects 2. Bonus for him, and that's really going to shut down the round now. Natu, a question of damage for him. He won't get anything done. Just lining up for Shiro, exactly what the doctor ordered for Spirit. Really nice work there. I could see Tanir moving closer to that mid position from B. So maybe he had a part to play, but Shiro's cleanup was prompt.
What's interesting here, James, is that this is the exact same round, or rather way, that FaZe lost the previous round on the CT side. They have the play set up into E-Box to keep the B players there. The player attacking into E-Box just dies pretty quickly. Then FaZe are forced to go into A, and then they just get stopped. And then there's a rotation that comes in. It's the exact same round way they lost the previous one.
J Bowen going for a racy one. Picked the wrong door, though, as far as Shiro is concerned. Posted up, ready, waiting, delivering. And now the tide is maybe turning back in favor of Spirit, as the money for FaZe has disappeared quite a lot with these failures. Super early 4-on-5. Now, is Donk prepared for Jacob's position? It's the question. You can see him lining up, looking towards the pillar, waiting to strafe. Timing working for Donk, and now things get really tough for FaZe.
Honestly, it was so brave that Jacob even just walked into this position. You almost feel like he had the advantage there, but it's Donk, after all. It's his territory. It's now being reclaimed, and now you're in the desperate position as FaZe to be thinking your best option is to move into essentially where Shiro has been the problem with the AWP on this A-bomb site. Twist. And he has a Glock.
magixx is rotating over from that B position, also feeling relatively comfortable, keeping an eye on things as far as mid is concerned. Now Frozen's in a very...
Oh, they're going to save, I think, James.
Yeah.
They don't have money, actually, now that I look at it.
Yeah, Frozen's in a very far away position, which is indicating that. So they're going to try and hold things together. Makes sense. 3 with rifles will be, well, it may be plenty. I wouldn't say it will be. We shall see. But again, yeah. Spirits are starting to stabilize now. Not too late either in this first half.
I feel like one of the things Spirit needs to be careful of in this next round is a fast contact into B main, or like through B main into B or something like that. Because you know, FaZe haven't been able to convert now in a basically all the rounds in which FaZe take that mid control and then try to figure out how to pivot onto one of those 2 sites. They lose their pivot player, and then they just get trapped into a spot where they're just stalled out.
Big risks, big gambles, and sometimes you have to take those gambles. Unfortunate timing from the FaZe POV. They've done really well into B with the trade fraggers going shoulder to shoulder. Sometimes you've got to throw a different look, a different play. Didn't work out on that occasion. And now the door is open for Spirit to walk back into this deciding map. A lot of Spirit fans will be nervous in how this one has begun. But it's looking a lot better now.
Yeah, it does genuinely feel like they have the momentum now, and all they have to do is break this buy, and you know, FaZe are going to be in trouble. If FaZe get a bomb plant, maybe they'll have enough money with the loss bonus and the bomb plant money to keep the pressure up. But for the most part, Spirit are looking like they've found their comforts. So let's see what FaZe are going to do to open this one up. They don't have that much utility, James, so the contact could be a good shout. We'll see.
Some early util dumping from Spirit in mid. But look at these players coming through. Now, are they going to wait for the smoke? Or are they going to just shift through? Because that could be quite a scary prospect. Maybe for both. I think they'll be happy with that. Don't collect Frozen in the meantime, and Tanir's got really good angles to hold mid.
Yeah, 2 versus 4 here now for FaZe. They're in a bit of trouble. Twist takes down Zontix. Maybe opportunity now, but they're still stuck in this mid position. We've got the containment here from Donk. And Tanir, no escape at all. And they're going to be closing down in very key rounds. And suddenly it feels like FaZe not really sure, I think, how to proceed, where to find the weakness or the openings.
3 rounds in a row for Spirits. So again, they have absorbed, they have learned, they have adjusted. This is where you're in the deep weeds versus Spirits. And maybe you've thrown your playbook at them and you've got to write a new page on the fly. But that'll be hard with a few pistols and a few pieces of utility for FaZe in round 11. They'll keep money in the hole for a to try and have a lead at halftime at least. We'll see what they can do with this. Donk waiting with the incendiary, but he's going to get utterly decapitated. What position is left for Spirits on B? Looking awkward now, but there is help. 2 players there at least, and they've got some good angles.
Yeah, there's no smoke here. This is a problem right now for FaZe. It allows the riflers to get close, open ranges. There has to be Trace. Natu able to take down Shiro, but they haven't found a bomb plot just yet. And now they've lost space on the site. The lack of smoke proving problematic. Natu through the smoke, hit or inside the smoke. 18 HP, able to dodge that one. He's going for a runner straight to the other side. It doesn't look like they know. I don't think Spirit realizes that Natu's going to A.
You never know if he's cutting noise or if he's turntailed and run. And it will be the latter. Bomb plant secured, 18 HP. How much time does he think he has to move into a different position? 2 coming his way. A few angles for them to check. They've got a smoke. If they figure out the right way to put it, that's going to make life really hard for Natu. Even if it is about spraying through the smoke, he can't take a single bullet with his current health. Smoke onto the bomb may give him options. Does he take the fight to them? Got to be careful. Potential shadows here. 1 on the bomb. Utility, there is the flash. There's only so much time. He's really waiting until the last possible second. I think it's a robbery. I think it's robbery from Natu. Oh, but he found the time to defuse it. Can you believe that? He waited as long as he possibly could to drop that diffuser. Great work from Natu, but still not enough.
Oh, heartbreak there again. So close. So close. And honestly, there's even a chance here as he falls back that he could potentially, you know, get a few bullets in there for the fight, but it's just not quite enough. Milliseconds the difference. Milliseconds the difference as we go into the final round of the first half here.
Tanir and Shiro with an AWP each. Would be the perfect present to offer to an unwelcome guest. Again, magixx playing a little closer to A, just keeping an eye, a passive eye towards mid. And that noise is cut. FaZe are quiet, holding a boatload of utility.
FaZe going to try to offer a fake into B, I wonder. As the bomb is towards A at the moment, 3 players there in total for FaZe. But they are applying or looking to apply pressure again to the E-box position. It typically has not gone well. Typically, maybe 100% of the time, Dong just wins that battle over that territory.
Five Molotovs for FaZe. Make it 4. They're not shy to go through these smokes, are they? Donk now. Oh, he thought he was going to get that one. Jacobs collected 2. FaZe in such a good spot now. They've spotted that last player. Second last player. Shiro with the other AWP has got a hell of a prospect ahead of him. Last round, 1 versus 4. To stop FaZe taking a lead at halftime. We asked if they could do it, and I think they've answered that question already.
Yeah, the fact that FaZe are hitting multiple spots on the map at once, winning all the 1v1s is honestly incredible, especially after the drought of rounds. And here comes Shiro, last chance saloon, hits that shot off the Frozen. 3 players left, Bowen takes him out, and that's a 7-5 finish for FaZe at the end of the first half. This game is getting really interesting. We'll see what happens after the break.
AWPers use a gun that nobody else uses. It's the biggest resource in the game. It's a one-shot gun, so it's bound to have high impact. Top AWPers get the credit they do because not anyone can do it. A top AWP is the player you're going to remember because they're going to get the best highlights. They're going to be really, really fast. You need your AWPer to perform if you're going to be putting as much resources into the AWP every single game. I think the role has evolved in a few ways. when you go all the way back to the start of CSGO, we had super combat AWPers. Kenny S is the best example because he was so mobile with the AWP. The AWP got nerfed as a result mainly of players like Kenny S, who was so aggressive and who were always pushing, always in your face. In the game, that got nerfed and we saw AWPers be more, I think, static for a while. Device is a great example of that. As someone who would pick their spot and stay in it and be like a turret almost. This guy never missed a shot. He was the most reliable AWPer of all time, really. I think AWP gelling is not easy.
You give him space, he'll figure it out every time.
There are very few cases of players who have made that work at like the top level. There's a few factors, I think, that play into this. When you're AWPing, you've got to be focused on your crosshair, as basic as that sounds. I think you have to have a lot more trust for your team in order to actually be capable to AWP. It's interesting to see James still be able to do it, considering the whole narrative around his team is how he has very inexperienced players that he needs to put in the right place. But he's someone who is so passive on the AWP that he's still going to be alive in those late rounds. He's more so playing for the clutch while his team open up the round. You typically just see an in-game leader be the first guy in. I think if you're AWPing, it's hard to be as involved. Feels easier said than done. But then you have also flashy AWPers are a lot of fun to watch. People like Monacy, extremely exciting player, in your face, pushing through utility, and of course, Simple doing the same thing. Absolutely able to take over games with high-risk plays. Think about some of Simple's best moments, dropping in from heaven, getting 2 no-scope kills. He did the craziest stuff, and he got away with it time after time. When you're a top AWPer as well, you're getting studied, you're getting game planned for. The fact that I was able to find as much impact as he does is impressive, considering there are whole analyst teams trying to figure out how to not let this guy pop off. A guy that never makes mistakes, a guy that is extremely hard to punish. There's different levels of AWPing, whether they're flashy, whether they're reliable. They have to perform in the highest impact moments, and there is no room for error. If you miss a shot on the AWP, you're going to die. You're always going to take attention because there is no room for error.
Polymarket is the prediction partner of BLAST Bounty. And many of you doubted FaZe, especially going into that second map. Do you doubt them now? 2-round lead for FaZe, moving into their CT side. Have they done enough? Now it's their turn to defend.
And you got Spirit here, just sending it towards the A-bomb site. And FaZe might meet them. They've got 4 players in and around middle looking down the water, but you can see the vision. They're going to make it so that they will not be spotted. Taking the long way around, and also doing so silently. And you've got Twist asking questions. Where the hell are they? And they've got to have realized at this point, Jay Bowen rotating back towards A, but it feels like Spirit have moved through the gaps.
Smoke execute with the molly coming into the bomb site now. Jay Bowen's able to pop Zontix. No util, no kit for the CT side. His position, he needs to stay alive there to give his CTs a route into the bomb site safely. Donk knows that as well, and he's going to try and eliminate him, but Jay Bowen stands his ground. That is a huge frag for this retake. Frozen pops to near. They're falling one by one, these Spirit players. magixx and Shiro versus 5.
It's going to be tough here. Natu takes down Shiro. magixx against so many players charging his way, holding the lines, and he's got nothing. FaZe will get everything. 5 players alive, unbelievable. Both pistols in this game. They've set themselves up for an enormous upset here against Spirit.
Perfect storm. Both pistol rounds secured. Again, Jay Bowen, it's not just about the frag, but holding this position, this duel as well, keeps that door open for the reinforcements to come through. And the rest is easy for FaZe. 3-round lead, they know how important that is as well. There is a force buy though. Of course there's a force buy. Spirit going for the big gamble. This is a highly dangerous round for FaZe to deal with.
Yeah, you're totally right. We saw it on the second map, where the worst did happen to them in this situation. They lost this round against the Pistols. Bomb has been dropped, though, does indicate to us that for Spirit, they are looking for early aggression here. They know that FaZe would love to get a pick before they can do anything. And FaZe, 3 players on the B defense right now. 2 players able to play more of a retake position on A as well. They understand what they're up against.
There's so much util, though, for Spirit. To some degree, they're waiting out the initial util from FaZe. Look at all the junk they've got. They could go into and execute again on the A bomb sites, as we saw previously. maybe with some more nooks and crannies. They've got more tools for it, more mollies. More threats from Spirit. But still, FaZe have passed many tests in this map of Anubis.
Yeah, I think they're kind of indicating that they are looking to take mid control, but they're going to A.
It's good timing on that smoke. A very forward smoke, very thwarting smoke. It looks worrisome on the radar for FaZe, and now Natu comes through and doesn't see anything. They can't overreact to this. They already have 3 over towards B, more or less. But he's really put himself in a committed position. If he drops it, Jaboin's alone. He's clicking his FAMAS. That'll surely be heard. Is this some kind of bait setup, though? Natu collects all 3 and the bomb. My word, this guy is having an incredible series versus Spirit.
They called him the Spirit Killer on the desk, and honestly, the trend continues. magixx will take down Jaboin, but players in position now to defend the site. Molotov there to eliminate some of those positions, but magixx with everything to do. Has to look in so many spots. There's no time on the clock either. Walks to his death. And I gotta say, James, with so many players, you see them close to a bunch of force-bought pistols with a FAMAS. He's got a FAMAS, James, but then you see the name. It's Natu. All day, all series, delivering these multi-kills. The FAMAS, the M4, it doesn't matter what it is. Natu is going to deliver.
Listen, man, the French gun on Natu is a buff, as far as I'm concerned. Look at the graveyard there. Very shallow indeed. That is a big test. Very big test passed by FaZe. 9-5 in the driving seat. Spirit are in so much trouble. They've got the hero rifle onto Donk. They need a miracle. Donk is a miracle. Day-to-day on the server. So we'll see what he can provide them. But FaZe are ready. Molly's HEs. He's eaten so many HEs in this entire series, Donk.
Yeah, down to 20 HP. And he might want to, I mean, does he give the AK up? I don't think anyone else has armor except Zontix. Very difficult position here, looking for that just singular pick. Oh, look at that. What a gentleman. He reloads it before he passes it away to Zontix. And they're going to switch gears, moving over towards the A site. And FaZe getting a little active in mid, some more forward positions, but they have voided that forward space to A. They are very comfortable playing retake A right now, if necessary. Pop flash, info. No one there. Jaboin alone for now.
They're pretty deep. They are pretty deep. Oh, no time for the util now. And again, he's got to hold his position. The rotation is on the way. So nothing too concerning there. They don't have all the utility in the world, though, to try and make this a little more difficult. Jaboin collects 2, but in so do Spirit. Still trying to get that bomb planted. Jaboin coming through to deny that. It's so good for them. It's so good. There's no bomb plant. It's 10-5.
And it's an ace for Jaboin. The guy's just casual up there by himself with the M4, making it look so nonchalant. Insane.
That's a great way to make your own name as well. Again, rising to tier 1 CS, delivering on both sides. Doesn't matter if it's T or CT for Jaboin. Getting an ace versus Spirit as they're fighting for a lifeline in a game, in a third map, a deciding series for a grand final, versus a team who you wrote off, not you, but like the people in general, everybody wrote off FaZe versus Spirit. Okay, let's see if they can have a good showing, if they can take a map, but it will be Spirit. Maybe it won't be.
I mean, these frags here from Jaboin as well, I mean, they're so incredibly important. You've got pistols swarming all over the site. Even below him, his teammate gets taken down. There's a rifle to be collected.
Frozen can't believe it.
10-5. It's not just a 10-5, James. It's a 10-5 where Spirit haven't been able to test anything on their T side. They don't know what really works here. They haven't really been able to default. They've been getting wrecked on their economy.
Donk is 7 for 11, dude. Donk is 7 for 11. Trying times for Spirit. Margin for error is small.
FaZe have to remain calm and collected here. They've got to feel that the victory is very close now.
But they must not be afraid to play as they want to. Play to win, don't play not to lose. That's how catastrophe happens.
It's where the veteran presence on the team becomes extremely important in these types of spots. Spirit against the ropes. Very little utility right now. They've got a single smoke grenade with a minute left.
Astralis and Mouse will be watching this. They are to come after this series.
Or the timing.
Ooh, where are you off to?
Oh, the timing in the smoke! It couldn't be better! Frozen takes down Zontix, defend the E-box position. They know B main is now compromised, but still magixx with the opening here gives a chance for Spirit. They need that chance. It's the 3 versus 3, and you got Twist out of the sight. They're playing retake here, FaZe.
Yeah, he had to fall back to get a reload on his rifle and wait for his teammates. They've got kits aplenty, and that is a good grenade, but it's all about the jewels now. Donk holding his teammate. They need to try and sync up together. Oh, Donk with a pre-fight. He's absolutely ready to fight back here. Shuro will collect, leaving Twist alone to try and do what he can. That will be a round on the board then for Spirit in a very high-tension game. Immediately from the get-go, after the pistol, high tension straight back after the break. Spirit with their first round of this second half are 4 behind, and there is some money actually for FaZe, but it's not spectacular.
And FaZe with the timing there with the E-box aggression, it was near perfect, really. You know, getting that timing where the T's are just coming in. Maybe someone has a nade in their hand. But the variance, it's a cruel mistress for FaZe in that instance. But for Spirit, it's maybe giving them a way back in. Pistols here now as we get pretty fast moving into the water from Spirit. And Jay Bowen looking for something with the Deagle. Frozen also on the Deagle. And then that's kind of it for FaZe in terms of firepower in this round.
Just a USP for Natu. Again, a life series for him. Never mind life game. Really making a name for himself. Hard not to be a fan of this FaZe squad of what they've done so far. If you're a fan of Spirit, though, again, a hard team to put down, even when the going gets tough. See how long they can keep FaZe on 10 rounds for. Perhaps the worst is over for this squad. But again, who knows what lies in wait. A lot of intel in their recent matches for Twist and Co to absorb.
FaZe have been very patient in this game so far. And in this round, Spirit looks to have evaded them, although Jay Bowen might get an opportunity. To near too quick. Too quick for Jay Bowen in that particular position. And now FaZe are locked out of opportunity. No real room for damage even, let alone a chance at maybe stealing a weapon away.
Yeah, all about the next round for FaZe. It's so uncertain what is to come in this half.
I know.
It's like, I don't know, for me as a viewer, maybe for you as well. You know, you've got a clear favorite on paper, but the way the game is playing out, you just don't know what's going to happen from round to round. Both teams are in a position to win this one, even a few rounds down. Spirit, they're still Spirits after all.
They're still almost they're still favored basically because they're Team Spirit. The thing that's really crazy is we see maybe an AK potentially denied. The thing that's really crazy here for me, James, is again, you know, FaZe, you know, have a couple, you know, players that have a way less experience in this kind of a position. Spirit is one of the most rock-solid teams in professional Counter-Strike, and you're in a position to not just beat them and scoop up all the VRS points, but you go to a finals again with some green players, and like that, there's so much on the line for FaZe, and so mentally, there is a lot there. We'll see what they can deliver in this particular round. Jay Bowen back on the AWP.
Zontix is the top fragger on this map at the moment.
Interesting. Donk with quick pressure outside A, trying to draw out util, but there's no util that's being drawn out at all. Finally, one Molotov, that's it.
I don't know if Natu's the one you want to challenge on this roster. Same for Jay Bowen as well, though. My word, is he delivering in top flight CS. Steady pair of hands. Heading towards the minute mark. Spirit still have a spread across the map, but the bomb's heading towards B.
They've been trying to pull FaZe towards A the whole round, but FaZe have largely just stayed in position.
Yeah, in fact, Twist is more interested in B than anything else. Jabone's posted up, though, with the AWP to see a mid-cross. Similar to what we saw from the formation of magixx in that first half. But since he was part of that, maybe he knows how to detect it, defeat it.
They're trying to sell a B split here. It's a fake though. Zontics will try to sell it from the long position. J-Bone takes down magixx. That's the other piece of the fake.
Oh, Frozen's falling back on 8 into a rotation position. Jacob's dropped now, and we've got problems. Frozen has to deliver, but he's traded by Shiro through that smoke. Zontics catching that rotation, and maybe the fake has worked well enough. J-Bone and Twist, all that remains. That's a great HE though. It's all tied up now, 2-on-2. Shiro and Zontics left.
Oh, I think they were thinking of saving, but then the HE got the kill there. You see them suddenly walking together back through. Shiro, the safest pair of hands. The kit ready there on the bomb site as a reward, but Shiro is just too much of a challenge for Twist, and J-Bone, he doesn't want to lose this AWP, cannot afford to do so. There's no money left here for FaZe. Oh, the timing on that one. It was a cheeky exit for him potentially. Oh, Shiro, for him trying to chase it down. The margins are so slim.
It's big if J-Bone can hold on to the AWP at least, but that lead is dwindling. And, you know, we've seen so many tests for FaZe, their new roster, their younger players in terms of how long they've been playing this top flight Counter-Strike. They've delivered versus Spirit, but now you have that lead and it's slipping away. It's a different kind of pressure. Maybe your hand's a bit clammier, and it's another way to test a measure of how much you can deliver on a stage facing your opponent like this.
That fake as well from Spirit, I mean, that is such a devious round because you are seeing, firstly, you had, they were presenting util to kind of say we're trying to clear position towards a main very early on. Then you see 2 players on either side. That's like a lot of investment into a fake because, again, as we see like J-Bone getting the kill on magixx, you know, if it doesn't work, your push is going to be very weak in the B site proper. So that's a strong round from Spirit that they had to pull out of the playbook to ensure that they can close the gap here, because they need it.
All right then, it is the J-Bone show. Was it Joe Bowen? Joe Biden? That's what they call him on the internet. Anyway, he'll be posted up around that mid position, looking to boost off of his teammate, I thought. But Donk has managed to escape the situation. So how long does he hold here for? He needs to find some impact somewhere. His teammates have got smokes and 5-7s. A great combo to delay and cause some problems. But again, it's the big gun that I think needs to stamp some authority here.
Yes, and I mean, if J-Bone can't get anything, the game doesn't come to him, saving the AWP is, I'm sure, exactly what they're thinking about. Twist can be the one to try to get some information or try to play as the partner. Make sure that J-Bone gets opportunity if something comes to their position, but you're going to have the B hit coming on through now for the side of Team Spirit. Trying to get in the smoke here, trying to cause problems, trying to capitalize on the variance. This is a little bit too much to handle though, too much heat. J-Bone in position though, but the smoke's already helping Spirit.
Can't take too many pot shots through that smoke. Is that tag? I'm not sure. We'll have to get a reload in soon. His teammates are still alive, still skirmishing around, making their way through with that flash. Jacob has the space to gamble. 3-on-4. J-Bone still posted up. There is a flank on the way from Twist also. Tanir going to need a reload soon. You wonder about the timing. Twist is now positioned to punish that one, but it's a one-tap onto magixx. Now they're really compromised. They could lose more here. Maybe, oh, the block is a little bit awkward, but I think that Spirit will be fine. J-Bone doesn't want to go to the point of no return. He needs to hold on to that AWP. So I think Spirit will be okay for this one, although they might lose a little more. Then again, maybe not.
Okay, that was actually a really sick round from FaZe in terms of the level of threat. And just, yeah, like you pointed out, the block makes it look really scary because you're like, hang on, are they scrambling a bit? Are there gaps to be taken advantage of? But Spirit clawing this game back, absolutely clawing it back, but still 1 round behind FaZe, who are now positioned to have a full buy with J-Bone, who has kept that AWP alive round by round.
4 rounds in a row for Spirit, which, again, some of these rounds have been crap for FaZe. They haven't had the tools to do the job, so you've got to take it with a pinch of salt. And anyway, let's see what FaZe have learned and what they decide to do. Spirit's turn to set the pace, as we saw FaZe do in that first half. Again, FaZe coming into this one absolutely fearless, but a lot of Spirit plays looking to compromise mid.
Yeah, this is a completely new look here from Spirit as well. We're starting to really see that T-side playbook from them, and look how hard that feels as a CTs when you lose that ability to have any vision through to mid, and you felt the mid take, so they could be there, but they're falling back out, going into what looks like it could be a B hit potentially, or is it A? And that's the question the CTs have to answer. The
presence in mid has pulled J-Bowen out of position where he's kind of in CT spawn at the moment, wandering, which has taken, almost taken the AWP out of commission. And he's been a big game player for FaZe. So we'll see how that one develops, but I don't expect he'll stay there for the remainder of the round. And Dog makes it feel like it's going to be a B play, but it's actually A. Challenging E-Box there, attracting attention. And it will fall onto Natu. He's had to pass so many multi-fragging tests. His scorecard's pretty good, but can it still remain? If he comes out of this one on top, I couldn't possibly believe it. That's a really good flash though, and the trades are there. How do you rotate now? How do you get into position? What else is there to do? 2 on 4. Maybe the decisions have been taken. FaZe somewhat opening with, again, a Turtley style in that one. Far back on B. Weren't really in position to make aggressive plays on B or A. And again, J-Bowen pulled out of position as mid was abandoned in that opening from FaZe. But it makes it hard for them to respond to what Spirits are doing. Yeah, it's almost... Oh, hello. Trying to keep these weapons alive. Oh no, this is going to be a tough one. So much time left here. You got to win the battles. Frozen takes down magixx. Frozen also taking down Dong, so okay. Those are really important kills. Yeah. I mean, in the history of this series, Spirit have not allowed FaZe to save in such scenarios. Oh, great jiggle from Frozen. That is impressive. Yeah, it's really impactful. There's a lot of money for the T's as well, so we'll see if that matters or if it's too late in terms of how many rounds are left. The crazy thing, or very difficult thing right now for FaZe is that all the rounds that they've won on this half have came after winning the pistol, winning against the force buy, winning against the eco, and then the rest of the actual gun rounds, FaZe have not claimed a single one. So that's the first fact. The second fact is, again, they're very close to winning this series and going to the finals. And they're in a situation where they need to actually make a read and get aggressive. I think that's like one of the things we're seeing here. And we saw from Liquid, for example, showing us how strong in the meta right now playing aggressively on the CT side of Anubis actually is. And you can't get scared if you're FaZe. You have to take risks if you want to win. And I fear for them that they are going to not find the right risks to take. I think when they're out of position on their CT side and rotation is required, that's where Spirit are. Sometimes they're at their most punishing. When it's like, oh God, I've got to get over to the other bomb site, they're just standing there waiting for you, and it's just free. They close down the round in those scenarios. So again, I don't think they can have their backs to the wall in these rounds if they want to be successful versus Spirit. All tied up now. All eyes on FaZe to bring the pendulum back in their favor. Yeah, it's been very difficult. Again, you kind of see what the problems are in the amount of faking that can happen from the T side if you kind of allow for them to have this position. Dog making noise gets punished. Okay, FaZe in with a 5 versus 4 early on. What's the reaction here from Spirit? Natu needs a cape for the work he's doing for FaZe in this series. They've gone through the T-smoke over towards A as well. They've still got 3 players heavily committed to this one, including J-Bowen, who's got half a light on mid. And you've got 2 players aggressively positioned for FaZe on A long right now. There's 3 towards that side of the map in general. And so this is the kind of stuff we're talking about. Get information, and that's going to give them a pick. Natu delivers again. That's exactly what was missing. They've learned, they've understood, they've delayed on the other side of the map as well, taking control away from Spirit at a crucial time when it's not too late. Twist is rotated across as well from A, so FaZe might have position to have a defense here, but it's going to be hard. It's always tough on the B side. Limited numbers for Spirit. Speaking of tough, if they lose by elimination, Spirit, then it's going to be very curious how things develop with their money starting to disappear. 17 seconds, Near almost 6K, Shiro just north of 5. Do they run in and die here? They're threatening the push, but surely they can't commit to this one. magixx comes through then, trying to get something done. Shiro drops Jacob. Frozen has to decide where to stand. 2 seconds, just about making it expensive then, as magixx and Shiro stand at the end of the round. but there is money for FaZe to weather the storm. The same is true of Spirit for now, but that could be a pain point in these rounds to come.
Yeah, we see exactly the way that they were able to make something happen here. I mean, that pick against Donk, it creates opportunity, it creates space for them to feel more confident to go for this two-man push. And going for a two-man push was so smart to see what is Donk doing. Is he just making it look, very loud when in reality it's not much here? And I'll have to keep seeing FaZe taking aggressive risks in the middle rounds.
Cash getting dicey for both squads, maybe a bit more so for Spirit, who are absolutely ready for an aggressive play from Jacob. You can't be afraid to make these plays. It's really important they try FaZe, but now they've got a 4v5 to deal with.
Yeah, very, very bold and unusual timing there, but Spirit ready. eBox is looking like it will be taken over very quickly. Twist gets taken down, spinning around Frozen. Insta-kill onto Donk, but that really might not be enough here. 2 versus 4 for the remainder of FaZe to try to figure out how to work from. And I think, again, just they're going to be put into safe territory. J-Bowen needs to keep the AWP. The money's now gone for FaZe. And it finally looks for the first time like Spirit have truly taken over the game.
This is a really tough spot for FaZe now. Again, we raised the money issue. It was true for both squads. But it's FaZe where the problems will lie. He does not make it out of there alive. So yeah, it's a really difficult situation now for FaZe on a half where they need to be aggressive, but they might not necessarily have the money to do so as well as they would in a full buy.
Yeah, they got reset here, so there's no money coming from anywhere. It's not coming from anywhere. There's
no stimulus package.
No stimulus package. Nothing getting dropped from the skies. No support. And they have to figure out, do they half buy? Do they full buy? It's very, very challenging. They're going to actually go for the half here.
It's a calculated risk of a buy. 2 smokes, a few guns. It really is like the last stand for the squad. Natu, the only man on the A bomb site. And that will continue to be seized by Spirit. What do you even do now? No kits, no flashes?
Yeah, there's almost a world, I think, where you want to save your Kevlar if you've bought it. I think, well, actually, 2 players don't have Kevlar, so it's just Frozen and Jacob.
I feel like Spirits are already still just holding positions to potentially hunt and make things even worse. Really step on the necks of their opponents. You can see them moving through mid to near, maybe spotted there. It's just a question of how much they can take away from FaZe now. Not that there's that much in the first place. J-Bowen roaming, but really it's just about trying to pick up a weapon.
5-7 is dangerous. Imagine if you had a kit, that would be very interesting. But Jacob looking to defend as well. Maybe some weapons to be collected. So there's something in this round for FaZe to take away.
There's something in this round for Spirits as well, Dan. Match point. A hard comeback in this game of Anubis, but it's them who are facing the finish line first.
It feels like the energy is gone from FaZe, but an overtime. Behind 1 round, that's all you need.
We see something interesting from FaZe.
What is that?
A second AWP.
A second AWP?
In the hands of Twist. A different look, showing something different for Spirits. How do they post up? How do they avoid these flashes? We've seen flash points through A, aggressive spots for Natu and such. So Twist will currently be in that mid position. Actually, they both are. J-Bowen and Twist. Double AWPing mid.
Hey man, you got to get creative. You got to get creative. You got to force the overtime somehow. Attention here, it could all be over for FaZe. For Spirit, they could avoid the catastrophe as Donk begins to test the E-box position, showing presence.
We've got double AWPs for Spirit as well. Okay, magixx is up to some shenanigans. We had 4 AWPs in the last round of regulation for a spot in the grand final for a moment, but one of them's disappeared now.
See the boost attempt there to get that line for Shiro. Very dangerous there, avoided by Twist. Just less than a minute now to make the move, and it's been very quiet for the last 20 seconds. Util going into B, and it's going to be B, it looks like, James.
Yeah, J-Bowen's posted up on that B bomb site. That's a great position for a battle sniper. How do they respond? The bomb's moving away from B all of a sudden. It is Natu, I'm not going to say just, on the A bomb site. in a much more defensive position. Again, keeping position open in case a rotation is needed, but you can see that there are Spirit plays looking to creep through mid. Twist holding that second AWP. Can that be expected? There's still presence being shown towards B.
And they just did drop their fresh smoke on B. That's going to help them out a lot. And now Spirit have to abandon that completely. But so many players here looking to go for the A side. The hidden second AWP. There it is, but traded out by Shiro. Is it enough from Twist?
Natu has to stay alive here. He has to stay alive, but Shiro also has to cross with that bomb, and he's going to chase them because there isn't time. Has he got the time to do this? He just about does. What a small window of opportunity. Now 2-on-3. J Bowen creeping through with the AWP, but guess he's got one as well. Shiro had the shadows, but still J Bowen stands.
2 players here for FaZe. A chance here because of Jaboen. Is it possible? Tanir getting aggressive. He's going to find that kill all on the shoulders of the youngster. Can he do this for his team? And there's no revealing the players. Sontics locks it in 13-11, and Spirit avoid the upset. But what does this mean for the future of FaZe? My goodness, Spirits. We expected the win, but we never expected it to look like this.
What an incredible series. Unbelievable work by FaZe. I think with the time this roster has had together, you have to be really proud of what they have done. Everybody delivering, new men on the block, making